Boss is boss.
Number 2. It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports.
Yes!
With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
What's up, San Diego? Welcome in on this Friday afternoon. Gwynn and Scraby. Chris Ello is actually, at this point, ahead of schedule, which it
way
almost
ahead of schedule.
So he may very well get here in the 3 o'clock hour.
He's landing in 10 minutes. This is unprecedented.
Well, let's not count. Let's not
True,
get ahead of ourselves. He still has a bus ride.
You're right.
We know how this thing could go. So
yeah, and they're going to the Super Bowl city.
At least the plane part
worked out well.
was working out very well. Now they could land and then be stuck taxiing for who knows.
Waiting for like Bezos's jet to come in for the Super Bowl.
Nonetheless, welcome in. It is just the two of us here to start. I kind of missed some things, huh? Padres,
yeah,
got Miguel Andujar, who had a good season last year. Remember, this is a dude that early in his career showed a lot of promise with the Yankees. Got hurt and then kind of lost his way, but last season kind of looked like the guy that we seen earlier in his career.
I think the thing I'm most excited about is that he crushes lefties.
He's right-handed bat.
Crushes lefties. 900 OPS last year.
No doubt. And so, listen, I'm not saying that he is the tip-top best move, but it's a solid move for the Padres. Low risk, too, from that standpoint.
And only $4 million. Yeah. So this is an AJ Preller signing. He's going for quality and making sure he gets the right price, but everybody I've talked to or seen on the chat, everybody's excited about this addition, and now we're just looking for AJ to do the next thing.
What is that?
Another move. I don't know what it is, but let me ask you about Andujar. Do you foresee him being a DH? Do you foresee him being a defensive replacement? Do you see him being a platoon DH?
I don't know. I mean, his defense isn't like great. But his bat was especially against left-handed pitching last year. And so that's what you're kind of seeing if you can enhance that a little bit, in that DH role. Maybe he plays some left from time to time, but I don't know that they're putting him out there thinking it's going to be a defensive upgrade by any means.
Yeah, I figured that he was coming in to be a hitter, really. But I'm excited about this. Chris is excited about this. Seems like the station's excited about this. So this is a good signing. Good start before spring training.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Padres kind of have been laying in the weeds here with some of these late signings, but you start to kind of expect that going down. I also didn't get to talk about Framber Valdez.
We did that whole segment about how the Pirates are trying, and then he signs with the Tigers.
Right. Signs with the Tigers. Skubal wins his record-breaking arbitration case, and that was ruled on. That wasn't, the panel had to rule on that.
Yeah.
Seems like a no-brainer. It seemed like the Detroit Tigers were fighting an uphill battle anyway.
So let me ask.
Do this one, 2 Cy Young straight?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like
best pitcher in the American League back-to-back years.
What is your case going in for the panel if you're the Detroit Tigers to offer 19?
We're the Detroit Tigers. That's their case. That's their case.
Didn't work out for him.
I got to ask you about this, though, because immediately the first thing I thought of before I knew that Skubal won his arbitration case, Framber Valdez comes in, gets immediately paid $38.3 million AAV. Skubal's looking for 32. I was thinking that's kind of a slap in the face. And before the show, we were talking about it, you didn't see it that way for Skubal, because if I'm Skubal, I'm like, you guys are making me go through all this rigmarole and I'm going to get the 32 million, but then you just go pay Framber 38 for the next 3 years.
Yeah, but you got to think, man, what has been the end goal for Tarik Skubal? We know he's a Boris guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is the end goal for most Boris guys?
Free agency.
That's
where he makes his money.
I don't know that I think he's perfectly fine getting the record-breaking arbitration deal for 1 year when he knows free agency is just around the corner. As long as I keep pitching like this,
yeah, I mean that does make sense.
I'm gonna make this 38 that you're giving Fromber look tiny.
And now Fromber's stuck with the Tigers for the next 3 years, and
I don't know that Fromber looks at it as stuck.
No, not for $38 million a year. I don't think so. But I think Tarek Skubal might look at it. I'm stuck if he were to sign maybe a long-term deal, because he does. Just all the reports I'm reading is that the front office and Tarek Skubal don't. Not that they don't get along, but they don't see eye to eye on certain contract things.
Of course they don't. Isn't that clear by them offering 19 and him putting in for 32, whatever it was?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that says they don't see.
I just hope he doesn't get traded to the Dodgers. That's I'm afraid. I'm afraid, Tony. I'm living in fear over here.
You can't live your life in fear, buddy.
Because then we'll be like, oh, well, the Dodgers are just the greatest team ever because they have the best major league roster and they have the greatest farm system.
You gotta stop letting them live in your head rent free, man. You just gotta move.
Right.
You gotta move on.
I want to stop down real quick because I want to stop down real quick just to say this.
Stop down or
stop down? Like stop. I don't know. I've heard it before. I just used it. I just want to give Tony Gwynn Jr. a round of applause because he's not supposed to be here today, people. He is technically on vacation. And when Chris told us that he was going to be a little bit late, Tony volunteered to come on in and be with me until Chris gets here. So thank you, Tony.
You're welcome, buddy. No need for any applause.
Anyway.
AJ Cassavell is going to join us here in the next segment. Actually, we'll get his thoughts on the Miguel Andujar signing, where the Padres kind of can go from there. We got a countdown, and this, I may or may not be here for the countdown, but Chris has been, based on his text messages, really wanting to do this Super Bowl list.
Yes. Yes. You know how I feel about these sweeping mandates that we get in the morning. Because he's already done it.
He's 100%. It's already written.
So it's like, oh, well, I guess I won't use all the stuff that I worked on earlier. It's like, fine. He's doing what? Top 5
Super Bowl predictions.
Super Bowl predictions, which is, oh, no, that's what we're doing or may do. He was doing top 5 like worst Super Bowl moments or something like that.
No. So he is very specific.
Very specific. Did you see this thing about Manuel Clase, by the way? The second report that came out?
Yeah, about him doing way more games than was initially thought.
48 games over 2 seasons that he is alleged to have thrown a pitch that was tied to betting. Over 200 pitches, Tony.
Can you just...
Are in question, I should say.
I just can't fathom him making enough in these bets.
He didn't.
To justify giving up millions.
He didn't. The report yesterday said that he sent around 400 or the people that he was playing for or betting for made like $460,000, which in other countries, still it's a lot of money, but not what he was going to make on the free agent market. He was already making by being one of the best closers in the league. It's so short-sighted and just quite honestly dumb.
No, that's the only way to say it. If these allegations are true, this is like one of the dumbest decisions ever made.
Yeah. And you're saying if they're true, you're right. He's not proven guilty of it yet, but
I think we got to leave ourselves some wiggle room.
You're right. You're right. Because what if he didn't do any of this? But the report,
it's not looking
no, the report yesterday seems like they have a lot of information on this. They have a lot of information on this, but so my thought last night was there's guys doing this in baseball still. They just have to find them.
Really?
And these guys are going to be better at hiding it. You can't tell me that 2 guys.
How can you hide it though? You can't.
There's got to be better ways. I don't know.
There's no
okay. He texted, use Telegram, use WhatsApp. I'm not trying to give people ideas on how to communicate freely, but there's many different ways that you could communicate that can't be tracked. So, there's got to be. I want to believe that there's only 2 guys that did this, but I can't believe it. I can't.
I hope you're wrong.
I hope I am too, because that would be a massive deal.
You're wrong.
That would be a massive deal, Tony.
Yeah, listen. And I guess you can never say you know anything, but I hope you're wrong.
I'm with you. I do not want baseball to have a huge betting scandal, but ski jumping has a huge scandal right now, Tony. This has been the biggest story in the last couple days. I told you about it on Wednesday.
I didn't quite understand it the first time you.
Well, this is a new one.
Explained it. Yeah, no, I kind of got a better understanding last night after kind of
going through it.
Yes.
So the ski jumpers.
By the way,
yes.
Shout out to Lindsey Vonn.
Oh yeah.
Getting through that first trial, I actually came across a video of her training after the ACL.
Oh,
tear.
The squats.
And a lot of like the jumping off of tables or whatever she jumped off of. It was crazy. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, yo, she has a torn ACL and she's doing this. So it made more sense after watching her be able to get through that workout, how she could then go on the slopes and still be okay.
And she did a practice run today. Everything was fine. Next time I see an NFL player with a torn ACL, they better be back the next week. Because if Lindsey Vonn can ski down a mountain at 100 miles an hour, they can play some football. But we'll get to the ski jumpers later. They were trying to enhance their
chances. They're trying to enhance their chances to win.
By enhancing something.
You could have just left it at that. It was a good tease that way.
Okay, fine.
Or Gwynn Chris on the other side.
The way to
2:17 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, AJ Cassavell joining us shortly. Yeah, we're just going through the Miguel Andujar signing. Good year last year, 318, 10, 44, 102 hits for between the Athletics and the Reds. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. You hope he can have a repeat type season where he actually is probably lined up to have more opportunity.
You know it's in there somewhere because he finished second to Shohei in Rookie of the Year voting back in, I think, whenever Shohei was a rookie.
Yeah, when he was a Yankee.
Yeah,
right.
So he has the pedigree in there.
Yeah. Yeah, AJ's going to join us, as I said, here shortly. Padres pitchers and catchers report on the 11th. Position players, I believe, a few days after. First full team practice is the 16th, and then off we go. NFL stuff, real quick, before we get AJ. Kingsbury, he's joining McVay's staff.
I did not see this.
Yeah, man.
What is that, offensive coordinator?
He's just joining the coaching staff. It doesn't say what type of a job he's going to be doing.
I don't like that.
Rams had the top-ranked scoring offense this season, but will make changes to their staff after offensive head coach was hired. So maybe he does get to at least collaborate with Sean McVay.
I don't like it because those are two very good offensive minds.
Yeah,
very good offensive minds.
I like that. I like that kind of combination there. Those two. I'm sure that's going to give you a lot of headaches at night.
Yeah. I saw George Kittle talking on Pat McAfee. George Kittle made me feel better about this season.
How so?
He just was like, "Hey, we had a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
we made it as far as we did. Now I have a torn Achilles."
I hope he can get back here soon. Nonetheless, Super Bowl Sunday, right around the corner. See Tom Brady catching a lot of flack for not giving the team he's getting flack for not picking the Patriots. It feels like
yes.
His former Patriot teammates feel like he should be picking a side.
He quote has no dog in the fight, which I don't believe.
Well, he's also like doing the game, isn't he?
No, it's NBC.
Oh, it's NBC. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so he just chose to just bow out of this one.
Oh, yeah. I have no dog in the fight. You
AJ.
Can't even blame it on being a broadcaster either.
Let's get AJ Cassavell on the line. AJ, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm great, and I love objective athletes. I like it that Tom Brady doesn't think. Like, let him say what he actually thinks and not what he's supposed to think because he played for a team number of years ago.
That's how I feel. He catches a lot of heat for that, and I just feel like that's just his Homer teammates mad at him is what it feels like.
I'll tell you what, I can't stand it when whatever sport, you get the guy on there picking a game and it's his alma mater or it's his team, and it's just a waste of my time to watch who that guy's going to pick because I already know. So at least this one's interesting.
Yeah, no doubt.
Interesting thought about that, actually.
Speaking of interesting, AJ, Padres get a right-handed bat, and Miguel Andujar had a good season last year between the Athletics and the Reds. This seems like a low-risk, high-reward type deal, and it kind of fits where the Padres maybe lacked.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's like exactly what they needed at a relatively low cost, low risk. Maybe Miguel Andujar is not the perfect type of bat for some other teams that might need more options defensively, but like he's not going to win you a Gold Glove, but he's going to hit lefties and he might earn some at bats against righties, and he fills that DH, first base, gives you a little bit of versatility because you can move some other guys around. You look at what the Padres did last year against left-handed pitching versus what they did against right-handed pitching. They really could have used a guy like this whose splits were so skewed toward hitting lefties as well as he has. Off the top of my head, I think it was a 986 OPS last year against left-handed pitching. I want to say the Padres gap in team OPS was around 40 points last year. Like, you add a guy like Andujar to that mix, you start to balance things out a little bit. I wrote a thing today shameless plug on MLB.com,
Plug
kind of
away.
laying out what the lineups might look like against lefties and against righties, and the way Andujar kind of just makes everything click. And I just think for a lot of reasons, it's a good fit. He'll start against left-handed pitching, probably in the DH spot. He might start against some right-handed pitching, but there you have the option of using guys around the diamond to get them a day at DH, while Sung-Moon Song can be versatile and move around and help the Padres out there. So, yeah, this was just a signing that I think made a lot of sense. It's been an option that I've thought has made a lot of sense all offseason, and finally, just before camp, it comes to fruition.
Talking to AJ Cassavell, MLB.com here on 97.3 The Fan. Real quick on Sung-Moon Song, I'm seeing projections of him like just coming over from the KBO and just being great. I don't know if he will be. I hope he is. But we saw Ha-Seong Kim have a little bit of trouble adjusting to Major League Baseball. What do you think the expectations are for Sung-Moon Song this year?
I think the expectations should probably be tempered, given that it's not just switching leagues to a different caliber of player. It's switching countries, it's switching teammates. There is an adjustment period. And in that sense, I think like to expect him to be some sort of everyday regular contributor, top 6 hitter in the lineup, and without any slumps, without any growing pains, I think that's kind of foolish. I think if the Padres play this right, and if they have the right support system around him and the right pieces in place to not put too much of a burden on him and not ask too much of him, he could be a really, really useful player. And I kind of think that's what they have now. I think like even the Andujar addition helps that. Like you look at what do you expect, what do you want to get from Sung-Moon Song this season? Well, 400, 300 at-bats, probably a lot of those at-bats against right-handed pitching as he's a left-handed hitter, and you're starting him maybe against some righties. You're moving him around a little bit because he's comfortable doing that. He's done that in the past. Yeah, I think that's what it has to be. It has to be, you can expect kind of big things from him in terms of his contributions and what he can do, but maybe in a role that doesn't ask too much of him. It doesn't put him in disadvantageous matchups like lefty on lefty, and maybe he's starting 3 or 4 times a week, at least getting consistent at bats, but not in those spots. I think there's a sweet spot that the Padres have to find. And looking at the roster right now, I think they can find it. The question is, obviously, things change health-wise and things change roster-wise all the time. And you know what? If he plays his way into even more at-bats, if he is mashing like some projections have him, then you ride that wave. You give him that opportunity. But there should definitely be a chance to kind of to allow for him to have some growing pains without writing him off. I think some people were writing off Ha-Seong Kim at the start of his Padres tenure, and quickly he became a very, very valuable piece. I'm not saying that's exactly how this is going to go. We'll see how it's going to go, but I think there's a place for him for Song to be, I don't know, 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Versatile, useful, and not overworked.
For sure. AJ Cassavell, MLB.com, joins us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. And AJ, as we've gotten closer to report day, you start to kind of settle in. And listen, I know AJ often has a spring training surprise for us, but if you're going in terms of the pitching, the starting pitching in particular, you're going in as is. Boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be a big get if Randy Vasquez could now take that next step? We've seen him kind of have 2 successful seasons in terms of growth. How big of a deal could it be for the Padres to have him really take that next step forward?
It would be huge, and I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility. I say this like understanding kind of how crazy it sounds, but he was legitimately one of my favorite Padres to watch last season, because there were so many times I was like, oh, here's the night where we probably kind of learned that Randy Vasquez isn't for real. And then he'd go out and pitch 5 innings of 1-run ball and do it again. And there were, I think, 4 or 5 months last season where he was maybe getting lucky. He was maybe getting some batted ball luck. But it also takes a measure of like going out there and doing it and working out of some jams and creating your own luck, which I think was part of that. And then toward the end of the season, I think you started to see the version of Randy Vasquez who could take that step, who started to miss some more bats and walk fewer guys. And that's the key to him becoming that. I mean, he's not going to be a front of the rotation guy, but if he's a reliable number 3 or number 4, which the numbers say last year he was, I think he could solidify that even more by, like I said, adding a few more swings and misses, taking off a few more walks. I think that guy's in there.
Yeah.
And I frankly loved watching him last season. I love that evolution from like, oh, maybe he's getting away with some stuff, I don't really believe this, to maybe this could work. We'll probably learn this season because there are some peripheral numbers that are not too kind to what Randy Vasquez was last season and the season that he had. I kind of fall in the camp of he was probably getting lucky for most of the season, but based on what I saw on some of those starts down the stretch, I think he can be that guy for the Padres. And like you said, like if these are the starting pitching options they go into the season with, I'm not convinced that there's enough right now, but I'm a lot closer to convinced if Randy Vasquez is, rather than a number 5, if he's a number 3 or 4 type guy.
Yeah.
Talking to AJ Cassavell, MLB.com, and I got to ask you about the ownership situation. There was a report this week that Sheil Seidler dropped some of the claims in her lawsuit, and it paves the way for the team to go through with the sale. And there's 3 different, maybe 4 different suitors. I know you don't have any more information, I don't think, and unless you want to drop it on the radio right now, that would be fine with me. But what are your thoughts about this whole process, and what do you think is it going to cross paths with the play on the field this year?
I don't think it's going to cross paths with the play on the field because I think like the Padres have probably for the last couple seasons been dealing with this to some extent, and they haven't really shown it in those 2 seasons. So I don't know why it would change in 2026. I don't have an update. That isn't exactly kind of my purview, but I will say these things tend to happen like behind closed doors, and when they happen fast, but you kind of never know when they would happen. So I guess it's a wait and see kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, I just think that from the last 2 years, what we've seen with some of the uncertainty that has existed and the way the Padres, probably as some result of their veteran-laden roster and guys who know how to compartmentalize and know how to kind of let their play on the field speak for itself, they've managed to not let it affect them. Now, whether it affects the Padres in terms of acquisitions and what goes on in the GM role, and like there's a whole lot of questions that still persist, but I think the Padres have shown that they can kind of take what's going on above them organizationally and move it to the side and play playoff caliber baseball.
AJ Cassavell joins. The last one for me, AJ. I mean, obviously, World Baseball Classic. Padres are going to have some guys missing. But could it be a preview into, getting these guys playing, that type of baseball early, maybe get you going? I know in 23 it didn't quite work out that way for Soto at least, but for Toddy, a guy like that in particular who was coming into a year in which I think a lot of people feel, he can maybe put it all together. WBC could play into that in terms of getting them ready?
Yeah, I think that's possible. You can make the case for it. You can make the case against it. I just love the idea that like these players are going to go play competitive, exciting baseball. And this is purely selfishly because I like watching competitive, exciting baseball.
Right,
I spend 6 weeks in Peoria.
I do too.
I'll just say the World Baseball Classic is a whole lot more fun and exciting than some of those spring training games. And there's importance to spring training and what goes on, and I'll report on it. I'll write on it. I'll enjoy my time there. I'll do what I have to do. But those games are so fun and so good for the sport that maybe there's some downside to it. Maybe you're putting a little strain on some of these guys, getting to camp early, getting them ready faster than they otherwise would have. But I just think the upside is too good for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One of them for the players themselves, putting themselves into those situations, especially the position players. These games are fun. They're exciting. They're the type of baseball you're playing during the regular season. How many times have we seen spring training games where guys are just going through the motions and then they get to the start of the season and they look like completely different players? Happens all the time. This is the baseball I want to be seeing, even if I won't be seeing it live, even if I'll probably be watching it from Peoria. It's just the World Baseball Classic has evolved into something that I think really resonates across sports. I think people who aren't even necessarily diehard baseball fans care about it, are interested in it. And so, positive for a lot of different reasons. And I want to see as many of these guys as possible participating.
Love it. Love it. I agree. AJ, appreciate your time, man. We'll let you get out of here.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
AJ Cassavell, MLB.com, David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit DavidPShapiroLaw.com. Let's get to break. On the other side, Hall of Fame inductees in the NFL.
Yeah.
Some big ones.
Yes.
Our program director got some
Yes.
love today.
Yes.
So we're going to show him some love too.
Yes.
On the other side. More Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Wood.
Still waiting to hear, although we see his plane has landed, I'm still waiting to hear from Chris. He's avoiding contact right now.
I have a feeling it's because he doesn't think he could use his phone yet. Oh, he's arrived at the gate. It told me he arrived at the gate.
I tell you what, Chris is a rule follower like myself when it comes to this team travel.
Yes, he is.
And so, I imagine he doesn't want to be on his cell phone. Although texting isn't loud. I don't know why he can't do that.
Oh, he can do that. Chris is also a guy who might still be trying to figure out how to turn it off of airplane mode as well.
You think so? I think he's come a long way. I must say.
That was me taking a shot at him.
I think he's come a long way.
He has come a long way. He's using a tie line unit now. I mean, getting on the webcam without even asking me a question. Remember last year when he turned black and white and it threw him for a loop?
How long was that? Lasted like an hour before he got it flipped
and then
over.
Our esteemed boss comes running in here. Why is he black and white? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was I think he's come a long way since then, I must say.
Me too.
NFL. A lot of the different things happening. You had the awards ceremony yesterday or last night.
Which, by the way, again, tape delayed here on the West Coast. Ridiculous. It's being filmed on the West Coast. Whatever.
Wait, it's being filmed and it's tape delayed?
Yeah, it was in San Francisco. They were doing the awards in San Francisco, and it didn't air here until 9.
Huh.
So I ruined it for everybody on the Scraby Show and told them who was winning.
Matt Stafford.
Yes.
NFL MVP.
Yep.
Not too much of a surprise.
The surprise was that Drake May only lost by 1 first-place vote. Like, it was 24-23, I believe.
You thought it was too close?
Too close. Like, I don't understand how you could watch both players this season and not know that Matthew Stafford is hands down the MVP.
Well, I think, I agree with that sentiment.
Okay.
But I can see that Drake May was on that team last year and they went 3-11. And then they flipped that, or was it not 3-11? What's the record? They only had 3 losses this year, right?
Yeah, they're 14-3.
14-3, right?
This year, yeah.
They were 3-14 last year.
Something crazy like that.
I think they flipped it. So either way, I think that has a lot to do with it too. But I agree. Stafford I thought he was better all year.
I really liked what Stafford did after he won the award. He brought his daughters up on stage and he was like telling them, "You guys were my biggest cheerleaders." And then he announced he's playing next year.
Of course. Was there ever a doubt?
I like that he did it right then and there. Didn't make people wait. We're not sitting here for a month and a half. Is Matthew Stafford going to retire? No, right there on the stage said, "I'm coming back." I like Matthew Stafford. Remember Thomas, our old board op, who thought Matthew Stafford was a garbage quarterback?
He wasn't the only one. I think one of our own didn't think very highly of Matthew Stafford.
Was that Chris?
Yeah.
I do remember this. Matthew Stafford.
I don't think he was a big fan of Stafford.
I bet you he wins at least one more MVP if he doesn't play for the Lions for most of his career. He was that good when he was playing with the Lions. And he had Calvin Johnson. He just had a terrible ownership group.
That's the thing is we thought he was that good, but there was always this thing. I mean, he's throwing to such and such, and they never win, and on top of that. But
yeah,
all it took was him getting into a better organization.
He is like playing the best football of his career right now.
It really does seem like that.
And he's old. Like
by the way, I think he
this.
throws more no-look passes than any other quarterback in football. I just don't think it's caught all the time because he does it so often.
He does, but Patrick Mahomes, once he does it, Chris Collinsworth falls out of his chair every time Patrick Mahomes does something.
Patrick is minding his own business, and here
that wasn't a Patrick Mahomes shot. That was a Chris Collinsworth shot. Although enough. Chris Collinsworth did say when Brock Purdy ran in circles and made guys hit each other, and he was like, "I can hear you all out there. I should mention that Brock Purdy did a really great job, just like Patrick Mahomes."
So he's aware of it.
He's aware.
I didn't know that.
He's aware.
Let's get to Adam Clug. We got to get to him.
And we'll come back because we got more awards, Tony.
Yeah. Well, yes, we got more awards, but Clug needs to get his shine here. Voted, 18th? 18th best PD?
Yes. In a major sports radio market. I just put his picture up there on the
I have
screen.
so many problems with this picture.
They chose this picture But it's
He
Adam.
sent this picture, no doubt.
He sent this?
I think he did.
Because it's Adam in front of like a green screen Petco Park with his thumbs up wearing a Padres
It's
jersey.
such a fugazi picture.
I got to text him right now and see if he's the one who sent that picture.
He sent it. I know he did.
Because it's really
It is such an overtop. For those who haven't seen this picture yet, Adam
it's up on the stream right now.
Full Padre like jersey hat. I didn't even know he owned this jersey. I've never seen him in this jersey before.
I haven't seen him in a jersey either. But I've definitely, when I was going through the thing and I stopped, I was like, of course, this is the Adam picture right there.
Very Adam Klugish, for sure.
Congratulations to Adam Clug for being named the 18th best major market sports radio program director of 2025.
All
right. Huge thing. Huge thing.
That is. Give that man a round of applause. All right, let's get back to these awards. What is it? My man from Seattle? Offensive player of the year?
Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yes, I think that's fair. They said they found it. He said they found that picture somewhere and made the graphic with it.
Yeah, right.
I believe him.
Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett.
Makes sense.
Pretty
23
obvious.
sacks.
Yeah. McMillan gets the what do they call him? Tet?
Yeah, Tet McMillan.
The offensive rookie of the year.
That makes sense to me. He was the only one that actually played a full season and played pretty well in a full season. Like Jackson Dart was too injured. Tyler Shuck didn't play enough games. Emeka Ibuka started off strong, but he faded.
Yeah, he got hurt too towards the back end. Christian McCaffrey, comeback player of the year. That one was pretty obvious. Oh, and last but not least, coach of the year. You want to go ahead and read that?
I said it last night.
Say it again.
Mike Vrabel.
Yes, indeed.
This is the worst. This might be my worst call in my life by saying this guy can't coach and then he takes his team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean, like almost as if he heard you.
Almost as if he heard me. And then I kept double, triple, quadrupling down all season long. I think I said, Nate has my quote, but I think I said, this guy won't even win 5 games this year.
That didn't age well.
It did not age well.
As they say. Defensive rookie of the year goes to, was it Carson Schweschinger?
Yeah, I think he's a Browns linebacker.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
They got a good defense over there.
They do.
Now they see if they have the right coaching in there. We'll find out.
Who is their coach?
Why
am I forgetting?
Munkin.
Oh, Todd Munkin. Yeah, they're Super Bowl bound.
All right, let's. Am I missing any other ones?
There was like a offensive lineman. I think he was a guard for the Bears. It's a new award, so it's like the best offensive lineman.
Joe Thuney.
Yeah. I was surprised that Ben Johnson took 3rd or 4th in the Coach of the Year. He wasn't even close to the top, which surprised me.
Who was the top?
Well, the top was Vrabel, and then it was Liam Cohen was 2nd.
Makes sense.
But Ben Johnson took a pretty terrible Bears team and made him a playoff team.
Which one did you find more impressive? Ben Johnson or the Jaguars? I'm not even going to bring up the top tier there.
I guess you're right there. It's the Jaguars, because is that perception though that the Jaguars are always terrible?
That very well could have played into it. But I think that's the first thing that I thought of, is like, yeah, I can see Jaguars being a little more impressive.
Okay. Well, he didn't win anyway. He went to Vrabel, so.
All right.
Hall of Fame.
Pretty cool. You always get these videos from, I think we've played some in the past, of some of the good kind of finding out. These guys finding out they're going to the Hall of Fame. It's usually some former teammates. Typically, the one this year is Roger Craig. Roger Craig played in the 80s, maybe early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Roger Craig.
No, it was more 80s.
80s, yeah, right? Because Waters was
Ricky Waters was the 90s guy. Yeah, and Garrison Hurst was late 90s guy. But Roger Craig was like Joe Montana, right hand man, running back.
So he's in his 60s now. So after a very, very long wait, he gets in. Who is breaking the news to him. None other than Ronnie Lott and Charles Haley, two of his former teammates. Here's the video / sound.
They're at his door.
Ronnie Lott,
As you can tell, they're happy.
2026 Hall of Fame, bro.
These guys help me out all the time, So, being in the Hall of Fame with them, I'm so amazed.
See, sometimes I'm like, what does a Hall of Fame mean to a player? And then I see that.
There you go.
And you realize that it means a lot. It means a ton.
Yeah, if you care about your craft, you care about getting into something like that.
Yeah, your dad, his video reminded me of some of these because he was very emotional when he found out he's getting into the Hall of Fame. But I'm glad that Ronnie Lott got to deliver it. Remember when it was like, I don't remember the guy's name, but he used to just go knock on hotel doors while they were there and be like, hey, you're in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame, like, president or something.
Oh, yeah.
But
they did change this up not that long ago.
Dominic says Charles Haley still looks like a scary dude.
So does Ronnie Lott. We were saying that.
Ronnie Lott could probably still play.
Can we talk about this for a sec? We were talking about this off air. Ronnie Lott cut his finger off.
He did.
And they let him do it.
Just so he could play
so
faster.
He could play football. Are you kidding me? If that happened now, can you imagine? It'd be like, no, you got to sign this, and this for us to even think about it.
I don't even think they would even think about it at this point in time.
He just cut his finger off and say, yeah, go back in there.
80s football seemed like a death sentence, even though no one.
They treated it like it was life or death, though.
I do not. If there's an era of NFL football I do not want to play in, it's the 80s. Seems like the worst era.
Yeah, you know why? Because it seemed like that the equipment wasn't capable of dealing with.
Oh, you mean the huge shoulder pads?
Of dealing with even these, even in the 80s, as the athlete got stronger, faster, that equipment couldn't handle that.
Oh no, no, the helmets were like pieces of plastic, basically
exploding.
Yeah, I worry about some of those guys, but you see guys like Ronnie Lott, he still's kind of with it. When I was in college, though, he would be on the radio all the time, and sometimes the host would just let him go, Ronnie Lott, and he would just be talking, and everybody's like, what is he talking about?
Ronnie Lott was just one of the good stories, but what a class this is. I mean, Drew Brees, who I know personally, going in. Larry Fitzgerald's video was fun, too, because Randy Moss was the one that got him in. And if you know this backstory, is when Randy was on the Vikings, Larry Fitzgerald was just a young ball boy, basically.
Yeah. His dad was a Vikings writer.
Yeah. And so he, Randy and those guys, Randy and Chris Carter and those guys kind of helped him kind of grow. And so it was you could tell Larry was emotional as Randy Moss was the one that broke the news to him that he'd be going into the Hall of Fame.
I met Larry Fitzgerald one time, and he couldn't have been a nicer guy. He sat there and he talked to me about golf for like 5 minutes, and it didn't seem like he wanted to go anywhere else. It seemed like he was giving me the time.
Right. Luke Kuechly, he's going in, and Adam Vinatieri also going in. So pretty strong class going in this Hall of Fame, the class of 2026.
Good for them. Let's get this. I'm going to put this Larry Fitzgerald video up so we can watch that as well, because I love these videos. These are great videos. And I just need to do about 17 more clicks before I get it there.
Daily Gambit coming up next. My Lakers got a nice victory.
Oh, yeah, we bet on them. We'll talk about it. Here is the Larry Fitzgerald video.
Oh, man.
Oh, Randy looks good.
You know what? That's just so many memories flooding my mind. Yeah, being out there training camp and just watching you guys and hoping one day just to have the opportunity to do it. Like, just the opportunity, never to imagine, to have a career that was worthy of being immortalized in the history of the game.
I feel really old, though, because these are the guys I watched for a long time.
Right? Like these were like I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was with his graduation class was what 2004
I couldn't even tell you. Like, but he was the guy
at Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt. I mean, Randy Moss, he was probably late 90s.
Yeah, Marshall, he was in like 95.
Yeah, he was late
6-ish.
90s. But these are the guys that I've seen their entire career, and now they're in the Hall of Fame. That makes me feel
I often
old.
think back to when I was younger and my dad telling me about a dude that he watched, Magic Johnson, these guys, like he watched their entire career. And now we're old enough to now be doing the same thing. That's kind of crazy.
It is crazy. I don't know about it.
I
don't know about it at all.
Let's get to break. We will have to date a gamut coming up. You bet on my Lakers, huh? Did you guys bet on the Lakers?
I think I did.
Smart man.
I'm not sure what Chris did, but I believe I did. I bet on the Kings, which is not a smart man.
Yeah.
The LA Kings.
They don't do me right most of the time, so.
True.
More Gwynn Chris on the other side.
So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lacita.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
huh?
That's who she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
I think it does equal that scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that is a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players, passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy.
Nope.
Getting my passport and driving it down there.
Because the airport is really easy to access these days.
And never easy to access, exactly. So I had a quick discussion with myself, and it was either A, it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of the team, or I'm going to have to ask Lori to drive to the airport. I chose the first one. So I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot my passport. I don't have it. And Stacey Terry Hudson looked at me and like, what? Like you? I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She was just like so surprised. And as I was, and everybody's like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I live, literally 10 minutes from the school. And I said, I'm going to call Lori right now. Is there any way we can just hold up for 10 minutes?
What?
That's all. It was either that or make Lori drive down, Scrape. You got to understand my options here. They're very limited.
I get it, but I think your mistake means that you have to
do the hard one.
Yeah, you have to deal with the hard part.
I agree. Well, this didn't turn out a whole lot better. Amy, it's her first year on the job, but she's a very nice gal, so I don't have any really, I don't have any cachet with her yet. And And she's like looking at her watch, looking at Coach Stacey Terry. She's like, 10 minutes, because that can be a little...
That's stressful.
Well,
it's stressful. And she doesn't care. Her job is to get everybody on that damn plane.
Right. And a lot of times what we don't know, the traveling party doesn't know, is they've already like called ahead and talked. They have a travel agent that's going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. And if they mess up that contact, then everybody's messed up.
So everything is thrown asunder if you got to wait 10 minutes. And but I'm on the phone with Lori, and Lori's like, well, I'm not going to the airport. There's no way. She's like, you tell them that I'll be there in 10 minutes.
You tell them.
And I will give Lori a lot of credit. She, while this discussion was going on, found the passport and was already in the car.
Whoa.
So I give her a ton of credit. She didn't wait for... Okay, go get the passport and hurry up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to the airport. So
she knew she wasn't going to the airport. Exactly, Tony.
She's like, I'm in the car.
She did. She said, I'm in the car. So I told, Amy, and I got Lori on the phone. I'm telling Amy and Coach, I'm like, she's on her way. And I said, I drive this all the time. It really is 10 minutes. And they're like, all right, 10 minutes. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lacita.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport, because again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college kids, huh?
That's what she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to my head, like, well, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
Yeah, I think it does equal that scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling.
I don't know where Chris is right now, and I told you, don't speak too soon. We have not heard word since his plane landed at what time?
2:07 p.m.
2:07 p.m. We are almost an hour out, and
doesn't take an hour.
And I'm just saying, I told you he is probably taxiing still.
No, it said arrived at gate.
Okay, well.
So maybe he's just lost in the airport?
Bus ride. It is Super Bowl weekend. I'm sure it is not. Oh, I'm sure it's I'm just visualizing the thickness of traffic right now.
Well, see, we did talk about this. And since the Super Bowl is in Santa Clara, most of everything is in San Francisco. So maybe the traffic won't be transferred down until we get closer to the Super Bowl.
Maybe so.
Because right now we're watching ESPN and they're right on the Embarcadero.
Doesn't look too crazy.
No.
In the background?
No, it doesn't at all. But it's also 35 miles away from where they're actually playing the game. All
right. Well, let's get into our daily gambit.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We have some bets to review. First one, Lakers minus 3.5 against the Sixers. Chris and I both went Lakers. Lakers won, and they won by 4, so we're good. We won the bet.
Shout out to the
Lakers.
Shout out to the Hillbilly Mamba. Back in action last night. And boy, oh boy, did he show out. He had himself a heck of a performance.
Did
last
Luka
night.
leave with an injury?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I thought he left the game, but we'll check that out.
I don't
in just
remember
a second.
seeing that. But I was also flipping back and forth, so maybe
Could
I
happen.
missed it.
Next one, Detroit minus 15.5 on the spread against the Wizards. Chris went Detroit. I went Wizards. Wizards ended up winning this game, 126-117. So come on, Detroit. Luka over under 3.5 points in the first 3 minutes. Tony, where would you go on a bet like this? Because I said over, thinking Luka could easily get the first 2 baskets of the game.
Left leg injury. Left
He
the
did
game.
leave. Okay.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Luka getting the first 2 baskets of the Lakers for the Lakers is a pretty good bet. So I said over. Chris said under. Luka made 1 basket in the first 3 minutes and missed the 3.
Luka doesn't typically come out guns a-blazing. He kind of finds his way like most of those nights.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought like, oh man, I'm not going to make that stupid bet again. Oh, everybody is hoping that Chris hasn't met with foul play, as he said when you fell asleep.
Yeah.
A couple of, I hope he didn't fall asleep. That is entirely possible.
Nah.
That is entirely
Chris
possible.
His OCD would not allow him to fall asleep.
I have a picture of Chris when we were flying back from Las Vegas where he fell asleep in his with his forehead on the Southwest seat in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
He fell asleep like that.
I know people who sleep like, listen, when you fly on planes like that, you learn how to be comfortable sleeping.
I guess I can't sleep on planes, but Chris was having no. Tony's falling asleep. He fell asleep. Oh no. Next one. Who had more points, Wemby or Cooper Flagg? They played. Spurs played the Mavs last night. Chris and I said Flagg. Flagg had 32
Oh, we got
points.
our first update.
And Wemby has 29.
Did you not get it yet?
It just came in. On bus leaving airport, ... Google app says hotel is 10 minutes away. Fingers crossed emoji. By the way, Chris and his emoji usage is
What's wrong with this one?
No.
That was a good.
No,
fingers crossed.
No, I'm saying like his emoji usage has increased in the last month or so.
That's
but
what
he's
I'm
using
saying.
them in the correct manner.
But I'm saying I think he is getting more tech savvy. It's
I
growth,
like having,
man.
I
It's
like
growth.
having the power.
Yeah, you're losing it because he's going to figure it all out. Got a tie line now.
Oh, no. Wemby, 29 points, so Flagg wins that one. Michigan over, or Michigan.
By the way,
yes.
I wish we could play this. Did you see Jason Kidd responding to reporter? It was very just blunt, and he just said how he felt about it. It was about Cooper Flagg, I believe, playing point guard.
Do I need to bleep this?
Yeah, no, you're gonna need to bleep it.
Okay.
It might already come bleep. We should play it though before.
Okay, I'll check on it in the break and see if I need to bleep it.
Sometimes you just gotta let someone know. You know, it just goes back to that. Something, you know, you try to be polite and you try to take it all in. Sometimes you just gotta let someone know, and that's what Jason Kidd did. And the best part was he never raised his voice. It was so Jason Kidd.
All right, yeah, I'm interested in this now. Michigan minus 27.5. I was going to ask AJ Cassavell this because they played Penn State, but I decided not to. We both chose Michigan. Michigan won big, 110-69. So Penn
Listen,
State.
what I can tell you about my friend AJ is he's no fool. He knows this didn't come as a surprise to him.
Yeah, Chris and I were trying to come up with a Penn State basketball player. Do you know anyone?
Calvin Booth.
Interesting, but okay, you did know someone. UCSD minus 10.5 against Long Beach State. Chris and I went the Tritons. Tritons won, but they did not win by enough, 77-74, so we lose that one. Texas women against the LSU women. Texas 5.5-point favorites. Chris went Texas. I went LSU. LSU failed me. Texas won 77-64. And then finally, Vegas Knights minus 1.5 against the LA Kings. Chris said Vegas. I said Kings. The Knights won 4-1. So I should just no wager on that bet. All right, Tony, here are some of the bets that we're going to make for the Super Bowl. The spread, minus 4.5 for the Seahawks. Who would you like to take on the spread?
4.5 for the Seahawks?
4.5 for the Seahawks.
Give me a Seahawks.
I kind of agree with this. Seahawks. Okay, passing yards. Sam Darnold minus 10 versus Drake May.
I had to double check myself. Yes, Calvin Booth was a Penn State.
That's a good pull.
Lion.
That's a really good pull. What do you think?
Told you I used to be in Michigan basketball big time, so I got to know the Big Ten players around that time pretty well.
So random. I think Sam Darnold has more passing yards than Drake May, even with the minus 10.
I do too.
All right. Let me write down Sam Darnold. And then we got Okay, this is a massive spread because JSN averages over 100 yards a game, and Stephon Diggs only averages like 53 yards a game. JSN minus 40, Tony, against Stephon Diggs.
Minus 40.
Minus 40.
I'm gonna give me Stephon.
I mean, 40 is just so many yards. And I feel like if the Patriots have any chance, they have to bottle up JSN. I guess I'll go with Diggs too. That 40 is what
40 is a lot.
40 is a ton. But that's what it was out there. Okay, who has more rushing yards? Kenneth Walker III, minus 20, or Ramondre Stevenson?
That's a two-back tandem for Patriots.
Yes, it
And
is.
Seattle's two-back tandem is no longer because one's hurt.
Yep.
Give me Kenneth Walker III.
Okay. KW3. I'll just take Ramondre on the other side. Ramondre is good at like big runs every once in a while.
He will crack some off for sure.
Drake May rushing over under 37.5 yards.
37?
Yes, 37.5 rushing yards.
No.
Okay. I think he goes over because Seahawks Legion of Boom 2 is going to cover all the receivers he's going to have to run. And he's really good at it, I got to say. He's really good at the running. Now, the last one we will do, Tony, is first touchdown scorer of the game. Kenneth Walker, JSN, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, or you have, Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, Drake May, Stephon Diggs, Kayshon
Kenneth
Boutte.
Walker III.
You're going to go KW3. He is plus 195. I don't know why I keep calling him KW3. I don't think that's his actual nickname. I am actually going to go with Rashid Shaheed.
San Diego's finest.
I also am going to pick him for MVP because
Kick return game, huh?
He could have a kick return, but he could also get lost in the secondary and just burn them for a big touchdown.
Not a bad call.
So if he returns a kick and scores a touchdown receiving, he's the MVP for sure. So there we go. Those are the bets for the Daily Gambit.
Wait, you picked him for the question was
first touchdown scorer,
not MVP.
Not MVP. I'm going to pick him for MVP when we do that later.
Sam Darnold for MVP later. That's who I'm going to go with.
Okay, I'll put Sam Darnold in here for you, MVP. I feel like this Super Bowl has no buzz around it, but
I don't feel like it does either. I think I said that earlier this week.
Do you think that the Olympics have anything to do with it?
Not really.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just don't think these two teams were on people outside of their city's radar in terms of what the expectation was to see a Super Bowl. And now that you have it, it's like, meh.
Yeah.
Although I like Seattle squad a lot.
There's the Madden game where they predict it. See, I'm going to ask Chris later about it, but I got the video of it. The Madden made it really dramatic.
Did it?
Because the Seahawks were up 14-3 at halftime, and then the Patriots stormed back, took a 17-14 lead. They were on like the 2-yard line with 3 seconds left, the Seahawks. Same exact situation as the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch. And what do you think they did?
Ran the ball.
They did. And what do you think happened?
He scored.
He scored. And in the Madden game, they win 23-20. But the video I'm going to play during the Big Five, it is dramatic.
That's funny. All right, let's get to break. We'll see where Mr. Ello is. He certainly seems to be closing in on getting to the hotel and getting set up. When we return, more Gwynn and Chris. Maybe Chris joins us.
Maybe.
97.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife, Audrey, on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There's some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision, because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to, being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates, and then however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago was completely different than what it is now. Obviously I'm part of the organization and wanted to find the best manager for the Padres, and so I was in on some Zoom calls to start that process. And then AJ we and I were just having conversations about who we thought were great candidates and how we ranked them. And we got done talking about it, and he goes, "Well, I think I got you at the top of the list." And
he just dropped that on you.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me. And, it's a little bit of a shock, when someone, like AJ believes in you that much. And it pushed Audrey and I to actually think about this. And, is this something that we would like to pursue? If we got that much belief from the organization, we've got to make an informed decision. Yeah. And so then after that, we spent a lot of time, like I said, praying and fasting and thinking about this and how trying to map out the schedule and work it out with our family. And once we came to the conclusion we're taking everybody with us, then we felt pretty good about it. And we're able to say, if you're willing to offer the job to us, we'll say yes.
13 years as a reliever. You spent 6 here as a Padre. How has that shaped your viewpoint and how the type of manager you'll be?
Yeah, I think one quality I have is a little bit of loyalty, and I was lucky in my career. I only really played for 2 organizations. I played 1 year with the Guardians in the middle, but not in the big leagues. But most of my career started with Washington, and then it ended with San Diego, and I feel very connected to this organization. I feel like it is family. They've treated me like family. And so, being a part of this and being in this role is something that's very exciting, and I'm up for the challenge.
Now, you had to get it out the mud, so to speak, right? You weren't a high round draft pick. You're a guy who had to kind of grind. That's the word we often use around this game. How is that, or what kind of lessons from those type of situations are you going to be able to take into your managerial role?
Yeah, maybe it's like people doubting you a little bit or not saying you're quite good enough. And there's probably some people thinking that as me as the manager. But it's also exciting to prove people who I really am and what I stand for, and maybe do it a little bit different than everybody expects. But those challenges as a player, they were so enjoyable. So you've done it before. It's fun to try to get the most out of your talent. And as soon as I took this job, that feeling of what I was as a player, when's my next workout? When's my next throwing session? That constant thought, that feeling, that little nervousness, that little excitement came back right away. And it was I definitely missed that. Now, did I enjoy the 2 years in between? Yeah, I did. I got a lot, my handicap went down and all that kind of stuff. But, this challenge has gotten that excitement back, that feeling back of I'm in the hunt with the boys, and I'm ready to grind it out and make something special happen.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to turn on Tony's mic.
It's so cold in this room, and I didn't bring a jacket.
And
so I'm not supposed to be here, but that's another story, another time for another day.
He put his arms inside of his shirt, and so he doesn't have his use of his arms right now because he's so cold.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's no joke. It's 67 degrees in here right now.
I think that thing's lying. It's got to be 63, 62. It's just ridiculous how in the back it can be 95 degrees And in here, it's 62 degrees. It does get cold. People make fun of me all the time for always wearing a sweatshirt on a hot day.
It's freezing in here.
Yeah,
for
people
sure.
don't get it. It's freezing. I look for that Jason Kidd audio.
It's not good audio.
The audio is not good, but I do have the quote. And I can't deliver it like him because he was a stone cold like assassin in this response to everybody. But they asked him about the national criticism of Cooper Flagg at point guard. And apparently this is a big deal. People are criticizing them for doing this, even though Cooper Flagg's playing great.
Jason Kidd, yeah.
Jason Kidd. But here's what he said to everyone. Criticism? That's your opinion. You guys write that bull junk. I've done this. I've played this game. I played it. I know what the bleep I'm doing. I don't give a bleep what you guys write because you guys have never played the game. I build players, so I know what the bleep I'm doing. So if I take criticism, it only makes me better because if I wasn't doing it right, you guys wouldn't be poking holes in what I've done. This is a good answer. This is a good answer.
You could tell he'd heard enough about the national opinion on Cooper Flagg, and I think he's not trying to make Cooper Flagg a point guard. He's just giving him a different perspective of basketball. It's a pretty easy concept. It's not hurting Cooper Flagg at all. That team is not going anywhere.
He's scoring 30 points a game easy.
This is not something that I think he'd be doing if they were like in a win. If Kyrie Irving was healthy, this wouldn't even be experimenting with this. But I can kind of see what Jason Kidd's doing.
Oh, this is like what every baseball manager wants to say every single day to the media.
The heater came on in here all of a sudden. Like it went up. It's like 70 degrees now.
What? Okay. Well, good. Now you can use your hands.
Oof, yeah.
You feel better?
I do. It was like bone chilling cold here for a second.
It can't get that way. So
I appreciate the air. Former Major League Baseball player Yasiel Puig. I don't know if you guys have been following this story, but he was on trial for a gambling probe. And he was found guilty of obstruction and lying to officials, which I don't know if there's actual jail time behind it, but he was found guilty yesterday.
Yeah, he faces up to 20 years in prison.
Oh, so there you go.
Up to. But he acknowledged in an August 2022 plea agreement that he racked up more than $280,000 in losses over a few months in 2019 while wagering on tennis, football, and basketball through a third party who worked for an illegal gambling operation. Wayne Nix, a former minor league baseball player.
He initially said he did it, and then he took the statement back. But either way, he's facing. I mean, talk about a career that, I mean, like a flashing light, basically. I mean, he was here and then it was gone. It felt
he was at the top of the game there for a second.
He was.
He placed at least 900 bets through this Knicks-controlled betting website. Basically, we're just going to keep learning about these things, Tony. It's just going to keep happening, and we're just going to keep status quo on this betting. I'm getting more and more against sports betting because it is just taking over our society for the worse. I will say that.
Well, all I can tell you, Scrape, is strap in, my friend, because I don't think it's going anywhere.
And now we have these prediction markets that there's no regulation on these prediction markets, Tony. No one is looking at these things because these prediction markets are kind of like stock. So you buy and sell at a certain price, but no one's like regulating this to see if the company is actually being fair about it or if they're fixing things. There's a whole gray area for it. Some people don't think it should be legal in California. Some people don't think it should be legal in other states, but everything is going the wrong direction, in my opinion. And I've always said this: if you can gamble responsibly, fine. It's just like I can't drink responsibly, so I won't. But if you can drink responsibly, all good. I don't care. But a lot of people can't gamble responsibly.
I think that the gambling one is tough.
The gambling one is really tough because people don't think of it as an addiction.
Right.
And it totally is an addiction. I mean, there's Gamblers Anonymous.
You're not necessarily feeling the effects, physical effects of it like you would alcohol or drugs. However, nonetheless, it is an addiction.
It's more dangerous to me because if you're buying alcohol and drugs, it's kind of a fixed price and you know what you're going to be paying per week. But in gambling, it's like, oh, I know this guy's going to win this bet. So I'm going to put 3 times as much on this guy. And then they lose. And then they're like, oh.
And so the cycle begins.
And the cycle begins. I watched this whole True Life. I'm a sports gambler when MTV did True Life. And this guy.
Oh, yeah. True, Matt. That was a wild show.
I love True Life. I love True Life. But this guy, they were following him around and he was doing illegal sports betting. And the mood swings for this dude were just incredible. Yeah. Like on top of the world to, I don't know how I'm going to tell my wife, back to on top of the world. And it's dangerous. Dangeroso.
Dangeroso. It's Chris's favorite combine stuff. I don't know if you saw Fernando Mendoza will not throw at the scouting combine.
Yeah, we'll talk about Big Five. We can talk about
is that
here.
a Big Five?
No, we can
I'm
talk about
sorry,
here. No, we can talk about it here because you're not going to be here for the Big Five.
No, save it, dog. You good? You'll need it.
Okay, well, the combine, I don't think they should have it anymore.
Why not?
No one wants to do it. Everybody just wants to do the pro day.
That's not true. They're going to the combine. They're just not throwing at the combine.
Okay,
which is not new. We see quarterbacks do that every year.
Yeah, no, I know that.
It's like a surprise when somebody's like, yeah, I'm going to throw there.
I know that they decline to throw every single year. I guess they're just going to meet with the teams and talk about certain.
I mean, there's more to the combine than just throwing, catching, or the 40. No,
there's the vertical.
Yeah.
The broad jump.
There's also the whole meeting thing where we find out how stupid some of these coaches are.
In their questions. Yeah, the Giants, i.e. Giants questions from a few years ago.
Oh, that's right.
They asked some pretty outrageous questions. Pretty outrageous. Trevor on the chat says the prediction market, they're exchange traded in the futures market, at least on Robinhood. I get it. It's an exchange.
What does that mean? They're what?
I said they weren't regulated, but I guess they're traded in the futures market on Robinhood.
Which means they're regulated.
I don't think so. I'm not sure though. I can't say yes or no. It's a gray area. It's just I've been reading more and more about this, and Giannis Antetokounmpo now is a shareholder with Kalshi, and June Lee brought up the point on Twitter. How can a guy who knows if he's going to be traded and now is a shareholder of a prediction market not have a conflict of interest here?
How does he? But he didn't get traded though. If he knew he was going to get traded, is he some? I guess he.
Well, now he could. I guess technically,
because he's a shareholder, it's to his benefit to have as many people betting on that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Well, whether he knows he's getting traded or not, how does that affect it though?
Because you can bet on will Giannis get traded, and then if he knows he's going to get traded, I don't think he's doing this, but he could go tell a friend, hey, I'm going to get traded, so go in on me getting traded.
But they can catch that, though. Like, if all of a sudden a bet comes in a week before, 2 weeks before, because he tipped his friend off.
But that's the thing.
That's going to pop a red flag. Eh?
People are buying into, I think he's going to be traded, so they're buying in low. And then if a lot of people start thinking he's going to get traded, then their whole thing increases, their shares increase in price. Or
they would have lost all their money because he didn't get traded.
Yeah, good point.
Broke as a joke.
I don't have a response for that. I just think it's weird. It's a conflict of interest.
No, I can see. I mean, it seems like it could be a conflict of interest for sure. I was just
You're just playing
the
devil's
other side.
Okay.
There, sir.
Right.
Have we heard from Mr. Ello yet?
No.
By the way, my guy, Scotty Scheffler, putting on the show right now. He's rolling back. He was he was +2 when we turned the TV on.
Yeah, he was over par.
I think he's at -3 now.
This golf course, it plays right into his strength.
Oh, this is waste management.
Yeah, this plays right into his strength. He's very good at this tournament.
Well, where's the party? It feels like this is a little tame. because it's Friday?
Well, no, because it's the 16th hole.
I feel like the whole tournament is usually like a party. Like
I am surprised there's not many people
feel
following
like there are
him.
a ton of people there right now.
I also know that they are getting very serious about the drinking.
They kind of had to. It was getting out of hand.
There were
like
people passed out
Yeah.
on the cart path.
Oh no, there's a good amount of people there still.
Yeah, but I do think they got more serious because of that whole thing that happened a few years ago where there were people passed out at like 10 a.m.
Yeah. And they had a whole bunch of hecklers going off there, drunk hecklers. It's the same thing. All right, let's get to break. On the other side,
we'll see if Chris is here. If not, Tony and I will make up a countdown.
Yeah, because he connected.
Wow. Wow, what a guy.
Let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
From the first pitch of the
gondola pulls in.
Yeah.
It goes very slow.
Yeah, it slows down
like
for everybody.
really slow. As we're getting off, over to my left, there's a couple getting in the gondola.
Okay.
Going up the mountain. So it's the opposite for them. They're standing there. The gondola comes up. The door opens. You step on. Well, there was a commotion.
Uh-oh.
There was a commotion.
Someone fell.
There was a commotion, and Lori goes, "Hey, there's a commotion."
She said commotion?
I don't think she said that. But we go kind of not hustling, but walking over there quickly. There's a lady who has fallen as she's trying to get into the gondola. She's now got one leg in the gondola.
Oh, no!
The other leg and body trapped underneath the gondola.
90.
No, she's probably in her late 50s. How do I say this best?
Oh, she's heavy set?
She's in the shape of somebody who's in their 70s. You've got to rescue the poor lady. She's trapped under the gondola. Of course, as soon as she falls and there's the commotion, the guy running the station stops the gondola.
Okay, I was going to
Which means everybody on the mountain and 4 miles away has to stop. Everybody has to stop while we try to extricate the lady from the gondola.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Underneath the gondola. She's got one leg on the gondola. The rest of her body is underneath the gondola. And when I arrive to see what's going on, I'm kind of the first or second person there.
You're a first responder?
Pretty much. The guy running the gondola place is busy stopping
traffic.
The ride.
Yeah.
No, he's stopping the ride.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're kind of first there. Lori's behind me. The lady's on her back. She's looking straight up in the air. And the only description I have is one of utter panic and utter terror combined with total helplessness.
Oh, I thought you were going to say embarrassment.
No, total helplessness. She's not only trapped, but she's not even remotely doing anything to help herself. She's kind of in a panic, and you think something terrible is going to happen, or she does.
Okay.
I go over there. First thing, breathe.
That's what you said?
I told the lady to breathe.
That's good.
I said, you're going to be okay.
That's good.
Just breathe.
That's good.
Try to relax.
That was the perfect thing you could have said.
As I'm stupidly pulling this 250-pound gondola, trying to pull it off of her. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're getting
the gondola is way heavier than 250 pounds.
Yeah, right. 1,000-pound gondola.
So you're trying to like move the gondola.
To just move it a little.
Is her leg like? How is she attached to this gondola?
Well, I told you her one leg's actually on the gondola in the doorway.
Okay.
Then the rest of her body's underneath. What is stuck with her in the gondola is her belly, not her leg.
Oh no.
That's right. Okay.
No.
So I'm pulling. By the time finally a couple more people pull and we are able to get enough airway to get her to scramble out of there. And then she immediately stepped on the gondola to go take her ride up the mountain. And off she went.
This is
I felt like I saved her life. I really do. I honestly feel like I almost saved her life.
I kind of will credit you with this.
You know, she was, I think if I didn't tell her to breathe, I think she would have gone into some sort of shock or whatever you do.
No,
she was
you're
going
right.
into a
You're right.
panic, Scraby.
You're
she was going into
absolutely
an absolute panic. And, you know, I had to calming her down, I think, was the number one thing. She wasn't in any real danger, but she wasn't feeling great because she was trapped under the gondola.
But
the
fact that you said her belly was...
Yes, her belly, yeah. I'm telling you, Scrabe, it was a factor. And there was, you know, there's a couple of people pulling on an arm trying to drag her out.
I'm crying.
I know. There's people on the other side with her arm. They're trying to drag her. I'm like lifting the gondola so she can get a little room to get out of there.
You're like, hey, I'm going to take the gondola. It's lighter.
All right. I didn't say that. You did. But it was quite the scene.
I am happy that she's okay, obviously.
She's fine.
If
she
this
got
was
right on the gondola.
If this was a worse story, I would not be laughing. But she's fine. You did probably help her a lot more than you think you did.
I think so. Because she was able to calm down just a tad. The gondola pulls in.
Yeah.
It goes very slow.
Yeah, it slows down
like
for everybody.
really slow. As we're getting off, over to my left, there's a couple getting in the gondola, going up the mountain. So it's the opposite for them. They're standing there. The gondola comes up. The door opens. You step on. Well, there was a commotion.
Uh-oh.
There was a commotion.
Someone fell?
There was a commotion, and Lori goes, hey, there's a commotion.
She said commotion?
I don't think she said that. But we go kind of not hustling, but walking over there quickly. There's a lady who has fallen as she's trying to get into the gondola. She's now got one leg in the gondola.
Oh, no!
The other leg and body trapped.
We have the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Ello here. One half of Gwynn and Chris back here. 97.3 The Fan from the Bill House Studios. Hello, Chris.
Evidently, the show is not big enough for the both of us, right? Because I'm coming in and Tony's going out. So
Tony was nice enough
one of
to
those days.
come in on his vacation, and I
That
told
was
him
nice enough.
as soon
That
as
was
Chris
very
gets
cool.
here, you can get out of here. So.
We should also send a nice thank you to Tony's wife, family, for
Yeah.
allowing him to come in on a day that they needed to take a little break. Obviously, they've got spring training and an entire baseball season coming up. So I understand the need to get away for a couple of days. But I'll tell you what, Scraby, up here in San Jose, Super Bowl 60, the whole thing. And other than a couple of Seahawk jerseys hanging in the airport gift store, you'd almost not even know it's happening. I mean, really, we got here to the airport, obviously, and not overly crowded. You know, you'd think you'd see a bunch of fans kind of walking up and down the terminal there. I saw like 3 Sam Darnold jerseys hanging outside one of the gift stores.
I can't. I
and
can't,
that's about it.
I can't do that. Why? Come on. You're the San Jose airport. You're a 49ers airport, and you're going to Sam Darnold.
You're mad about this. You're mad about this. You're
Yes,
mad
I'm
about
mad.
this.
Yes, I'm
You want
mad.
49er jerseys out there. You want all the fans coming in for the Super Bowl to be buying 49er jerseys.
Just remove all the jerseys altogether.
Just remove them all, you say.
And who buys a jersey from an airport gift shop? It's like an extra 150% markup.
I was going to say you can get the best price on one right there at the airport gift shop. Yeah, I don't know. Evidently they're selling a few, but there wasn't a whole lot of sign. I got on the bus and I was expecting, major traffic here to the hotel, but pretty clear shot. So we're here. We're, the game is coming up Sunday, we know, but our game is tomorrow, and then we're getting out of town before the big game. I will say this, though. I just saw Stacey Terry Hudson on the elevator on the way up to my room, and here's what she said to me, Scraby.
What?
I cannot believe how expensive these hotel rooms are.
Oh, I bet.
And she was like the Mountain West Conference ought to pay us for what we're paying to come and play this game.
That's actually a good point.
Right? We talked about this, you and I, the other day. The Mountain West Conference, look, I know you can't think of everything, but you have a team in San Jose. The Super Bowl's in San Jose. It's not like they just scheduled it a week ago. We've known that the Super Bowl was going to be played this weekend for 3 years now?
Yeah.
So, San Jose State could be playing away this week. say, playing us in San Diego, and then we could return the favor at another time. But just absolutely ridiculous scheduling, and I know the coach is she's a little stressed because, I mean, look, we talk about the NIL, we talk about everything in college sports. The women's basketball team still has a budget, right?
Yeah,
they have a budget.
Yeah.
And this weekend, I almost felt like I should have stayed at home. Like I feel bad now that I made the trip. But, that's ridiculous. It shouldn't happen.
No, I agree with that.
Do you think that the price of the rooms?
Do you think that they're going to actually put a formal request in with the Mountain West for some assistance?
I really would. I'd say, look, I mean, we shouldn't have had to come and play on this weekend. You guys should have seen this, coming. At least split the difference, something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And I don't blame San Jose State. Obviously, they didn't schedule it. This is a conference game, so the conference schedules this, and. We played San Jose State at home about a month ago, so why couldn't you just switch those two? It would have been very easy to do. But anyway, they didn't do it, and here we are. And I'm
looking up on hotels.com right now.
Oh, my goodness. Do you want me to tell you the name? I don't want to tell you the name of the hotel because
don't do that. Don't do that.
It's me, Scraby, and a lot of fans will probably come after
Everybody's going to show up. Oh, my goodness.
Do you know the hotel we're in? Or
no,
are you just
but
looking
I'm just
in the
looking. I'm on hotels.com right now, and the Hilton in San Jose is $944.
Wow.
Signia by Hilton. I don't know how nice it is, but that's over $1,000.
Wow.
And then you got some other ones that are further away from downtown.
I'm not going to tell us the hotel, but looking like Cupertino, which is next door to San Jose.
All right.
But look in Cupertino, see what the hotels there are charging, just by curiosity, because that's kind of where that's the area we are.
Let's see. It seems like it's much cheaper, but I don't think that they're actually giving me the right price.
Yeah, they might not be giving you this
because
weekend.
They're saying this one is $219, which I do not believe.
I don't believe that either. No, not at all. So anyway, look, we're excited, to be here, but I'm more excited that I'm coming home tomorrow night before the game. And I don't know, is anybody yet excited about the game? I know you and Tony made your picks. I got to get my pick in here, which I will do soon. But
we didn't officially, but I guess we did officially. We didn't think about it as an official pick, but it is an official pick.
Well, you can.
Are we more excited for it? No. I mean, Tony and I were talking about before you came on. There's just zero buzz to this Super Bowl.
Not a lot of buzz to the Super Bowl, and I really believe it has to do with, what's going on in our world. I really do. The Super Bowl doesn't seem insignificant, but it's less significant with everything that's going on around it.
But see, I don't disagree.
I mean, we can't do anything without people, one side, I'm not taking a side, but without politics being part of an event or anything. And so that seems to be the thing that is, unfortunately the focus, which obviously shouldn't be.
Which is sad because we talk about it here on the show. Our show and sports in general is an escape from the real world. So we should be excited about the Super Bowl to escape for 4 hours, but we're not.
That's a great call. And hopefully once the game gets going and everybody's on the field Sunday, we'll be able to relax and kind of forget about what ails us. But I think that's kind of the explanation for it. But all right, so let's do a countdown here. I got the top 5 not so great Super Bowl moments in the history of the Super Bowl.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Collision on southbound 15 right at the southbound 805 connector ramp. It's over to the right shoulder. Also southbound 805 right before Imperial. Accident involving a motorcycle. Looks like that is being cleared over to the right shoulder.
Heads up, San Diego. The next long weekend is coming up. Get road ready now. Valvoline Instant Oil Change gets you in and out fast. No appointment needed. Real pros check lights, fluids, and tires with any oil change. Locations and coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's now time for Gwynn and Chris to rank their top 5 of the day.
Gonna grip and rip as usual.
But this isn't just a regular top 5 list.
I love it. It sounds sadistic, but I love it.
This is the countdown. And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here we go. We're going to do the top 5 not-so-great moments in Super Bowl history. Scraby's just going to kind of be along for the ride here because you don't really have the depth of history with the Super Bowl that I do.
No.
Frankly, you were born, give me the year, 85?
So it was the Bears
Okay, so
Super Bowl.
1985 was already Super Bowl 20. So there were 20 Super Bowls that happened before you were even born.
Man, that also makes me feel old.
Yeah, sorry about that. And then you're lucky to go 4 or 5 years at least for you to get old enough to watch the Super Bowl. So you missed the first 25 for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's when a lot of these moments are. So here we go. I'm going to count down the top 5 not so great moments in Super Bowl history. Hit it.
All right. Whoops, sorry.
I can't say anything until I hear number 5.
Number 5.
All right, number 5 is going to be one that I think is overblown. But it was a great example of hustle. And hustle is something that sports teaches us. And probably no player in NFL history has hustled more impressively, shall we say, than Don Beebe, the wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
The reason I say this is because Buffalo was already losing 45-14 when Leon Lett picked up a fumble and took off for the end zone to add more misery to the Bills' woes. And you're getting beat by 38 points in the biggest game of your life. And Don Beebe put his head down, sprinted 80 yards down the sidelines. And, of course, Leon Lett he gets the guffaw for holding the ball out and fumbling away a certain touchdown. But there's 2 things about it. I think, one, we concentrate way too much on Leon Lett. We should concentrate on the amazing hustle that Don Beebe had and the kind of perseverance that teaches. And secondly, who cares if Leon Lett fumbled? Dallas won by 40 points anyway. So that's why it's number 5. It gets a lot of play. You've seen it a million times.
I have.
Right? But it didn't cost Dallas the game or anything. It's not like the Thanksgiving game the following season when he dove on the football in the snow and gave the Dolphins an extra field goal, and that did lose them the game. But his guffaw in the Super Bowl only ranks 5th for me.
That's a good one. Don Beebe is a hero for that.
He should be, and he's not. He's not given any credit for that. All of it is put on Leon Lett. All right.
Number 4.
Number 4 is going to be the Denver-Atlanta Super Bowl. Now, this was after Elway had come to San Diego and he'd beaten Favre and the Packers to finally win his first Super Bowl. The next year, in 1998, Denver was really dominant. This comes in at number 4 for a couple of reasons. The Atlanta Falcons were the opponent. They had upset a powerful one-loss Minnesota Viking team in the championship game. The Falcons were a little bit nondescript, but one guy that people knew about was a safety by the name of Eugene Robinson. They knew about him because 2 nights before the Super Bowl, he had been named the NFL Man of the Year.
Okay.
Same award that who won it the other night for the you know what I'm talking about? The Walter Payton Award.
I know
Man of the Year.
J.J. Watts won it. Someone on the Steelers.
J.J. Watts
Cameron
last
Hayward
year was the
won it.
Steeler guy. Hayward won it. They just announced it the other night. I think it was Bobby Wagner, actually, was the Man of the Year this year. So Eugene Robinson is honored with this award. Then comes word that at 2 a.m, what's that?
It was Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, okay, Bobby Wagner. So Eugene Robinson wins the thing. Atlanta's playing Denver. 2 a.m, Saturday night before the Super Bowl. Eugene Robinson, of all people, gets picked up for soliciting prostitution in Miami.
Oh, no.
The guy's married. He has children. He has a family. And he's just been named Man of the Year.
Oh.
And this is the guy that they pick up.
Isn't the Walter Payton Award like a humanitarian award too?
I mean, come on. I don't know that it was actually called the Walter Payton Award then.
What year is this?
It was 1998, so you'd have to look it up. But he gets nailed for this. Obviously, it's a huge distraction. And if you go back to the highlights of that Super Bowl game the next day, the winning touchdown, the one that put Denver, in the final wrap it up was a John Elway bomb to Rod Smith that, of course, went right over the head of Eugene Robinson. So that is a notorious number 4 for you.
Yeah, it's saying on the NFL website, so it must be a different award. 1998 was Dan Marino, but what's the...
Yeah, but no, Eugene Robinson was Robinson. You know what I mean? He was man of something.
Yeah.
And he was then obviously forever shamed. So that's my number 4.
All right. I did not know that one.
Number 3.
Actually, number 4 is so crazy. I don't even know that the other 3 beat it, but I'm going to do what I can. Super Bowl 1. You're going to laugh. I think most people will laugh at this one. It was obviously a simpler day, a simpler time, 1966, for heaven's sakes. The Green Bay Packers are getting ready to play the Kansas City Chiefs in the very first Super Bowl. It wasn't even called the Super Bowl. It was called the AFL NFL World Championship game. There's a hilarious photo that you may have seen before, Scraby, of the one Kansas City Chief captain shaking hands with the one Green Bay Packer captain at the 50-yard line before the game and the opening toss. Now there's how many people on the field for the opening toss, right? The night before the game, backup Green Bay Packers receiver Max McGee, who knew he would not play because he was buried on the depth chart behind an all-pro receiver named Boyd Dowler.
Okay, I know where this is headed.
You know where this is going. Max McGee ties one on.
Oh, great.
It's at the Memorial LA Coliseum. He goes Sunset Boulevard. He goes Hollywood. He's out all night. It's 4:30 in the morning. He's still knocking down shots, the whole thing.
Oh, man.
Obviously, Vince Lombardi is, tucked away in bed somewhere, is not aware of any of this. McGee is hammered and, as you might imagine, hungover on the morning of the Super Bowl, comes to the Coliseum. They run out on the field for warm-ups, and Boyd Dowler tweaks his hamstring in the warm-ups. And Boyd Dowler can't play. And they come to Max McGee, and they go, hey, Max, come on, you're starting Super Bowl. You're out there, babe.
Oh, no.
Max is like, oh, no.
How did he play?
You can look it up, everybody. The very first Super Bowl in the history, very first touchdown in the history of the Super Bowl was a Bart Starr slant pass, 30 yards, taken to the house by Max McGee.
Oh, wow, I'm looking at it too.
And Max McGee, I think, caught another touchdown in that game. He might have caught 2, but he caught the first one, and they ended up giving Bart Starr the MVP, but they probably really should have given it to Max McGee. He dominated the game. And it's just an all-time classic story of, the way things were back then. Max McGee, probably the most unlikely hero in Super Bowl history.
Would this have been
in Super Bowl 1?
It was Super Bowl 1 in 1967.
Yeah, the game was in 67.
All right,
exactly.
so he had 7 receptions for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Two touchdowns.
That is ridiculous.
He ran over he dominated the game. So that's the Max McGee story. Comes in at number 3.
They sometimes say, on the PGA Tour, beware of the sick golfer, because they're not as they don't care as much about their round. They just want to get through it, and then they end up playing well. Beware of the hungover football player.
I maybe beware, but I mean, are you kidding me? That's not a sport you want to play hungover, is it, Scrape? I mean, being as you have experience
I
with
have plenty of experience.
Right. You don't want to be running up and down there.
I don't even want to go to work hungover. And sit around.
You don't even want to lay on the couch hungover, let alone run patterns in the Super Bowl.
No, I usually just stare at the ceiling with I'm never drinking again.
Yeah. All right, number 2. Let's go. You got to pick it up a little bit.
I didn't realize it.
Number 2 is also at the LA Coliseum. It was Super Bowl 7. Again, it's a play you've seen a million times.
The Miami Dolphins are leading the Redskins 14-0. They're about to clinch their 17-0 season with a Garo Yepremian field goal that's going to make the final score 17-0. There's 2 minutes to go. And, if you've seen it, you know what's going to happen. But the kick is blocked. Garo runs over, pops it up in the air, trying to throw it. Mike Bass returns it for their Skins, and they score a touchdown. And the Dolphins still won 14-7, but that Garo Yepremian play might be the funniest blooper in NFL history. And just considering when it all happened, and it happened in Super Bowl 7.
It's great because he throws it and it's not even close to being.
He doesn't even get out of his own hand, right?
No, it just slips in the air.
It just flips up in the air. All right, I might need to take a break before number one.
Whoa!
I'm going to tell you why. Because I didn't write these down.
Oh.
And I honestly don't remember number one.
Okay.
I know it. But I got to think of it. Because remember, I just sat down and you said, do the list.
Yeah, no, Chris got here and I said, go.
Right. So number one is the all-time guffaw or the all-time notorious moment in the Super Bowl.
Would it be the lights going out in the
That would have been, I think that would have been a best of the rest. Oh my God, I'm a little embarrassed right now.
What about the I can't remember his name, but the Raider who got in Mexico?
That would have gone along with the Eugene Robinson story. I think that was kind of.
I think his was a little bit darker, the Mexico story, than Eugene Robinson.
This is crazy. How am I'm like completely blanked out on what my number one was, and it's a clear number one.
Well, Chris will deliver that for us when we get back. We also
somebody
have
in
Chris
the chat
versus the
send to Scraby what they think number one is for the most notorious moment. I'll come up with it, I hope, between now and then when we come back. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Chris versus the fans after that. 833-288-0973. Things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
Hold on one second, everybody. Chris is trying to fix the tie line unit that he has. I'm not sure what is going on, but we will get to the number one in a second. I know that Em McKee is sitting in the car with her son right now, waiting for this number one at the Trader Joe's parking lot. It looks like Chris is trying to connect with something. Anyway, if you would like to play Chris versus the fans, we will do that after this whole thing. 833-288-0973. You're going to win a qualification for a trip to win not a trip. They win Guns N' Roses tickets. And now Chris has just completely disappeared. Oh no, he's right there to the left. I'm not sure what is going on, but we will get there. He's on the screen. Everybody can see him on the screen. But for some reason, let's see. I'm trying to figure this out while on the air. So, are you muted? Let's do this. This is going back to the time that I got stuck on the air and had to text people while I was on the air. So, anyway, all guests on the 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. All right. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to put everybody on hold for Chris versus the fans. And then I'm going to play some Jeopardy music for a second as I give Chris a call to figure this out. So stay with me. All right. Well, he didn't answer, everybody. He didn't answer. So we're going to keep continuing trying to connect with Chris. I'm going to have to give away his number one thing. Because it is he just took off the headset. So he's working on it. But the number one, according to Chris, and he'll come on and he'll talk to you, tell you about it when he gets back here. But the number one was the blunder of the Seahawks in the Super Bowl when Russell Wilson threw the pass that was intercepted that gave the Patriots the victory. That was his number one. I hate to be the one to ruin it, but we tried. Let me see. He's going to something else now. I'm not sure what happened because we had him in the last segment. Paul Goldschmidt, by the way, everybody, signed with the New York Yankees. So he is not coming to San Diego. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt and the New York Yankees are finalizing a one-year contract, sources tell ESPN. Goldschmidt, 38, returns to the Yankees after hitting .274 last season. All right. Well, what else do I have to talk about? This is fun. This is just great, everybody. If you love Mediterranean food, Tres Spiros for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. Chris is pointing, but I don't know what that means. Can you hear me, Chris? I'm surprised Adam hasn't reached out yet. I don't know. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm sorry. Sorry for these technical difficulties. I am going to play some spots real quick so I can fix this and go and talk to Chris. So we'll be right back.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
And we're back. And I believe Chris is with us on a different technology apparatus. How are you, Chris? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Things happen.
I have a
hotspot.
What do you call it? The tie line is attached to a
hotspot.
Hotspot, and the hotspot ran out of energy, and I don't have the cord, so I'm going back to our old style.
All right. Note to self: we need to get you a charging cord for your hotspot.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Okay.
I have everything but that.
Katrina says at least you did not meet with foul play, which I thought was some sort of option for a second. We were worried about you. I went to Jeopardy music. I played some commercials, but I also had to reveal your number one, Chris. So if you would like to talk about your number one, go ahead.
Yeah, it almost it's. I mean, I chose number one because of the game this year, right? It has to be the Patriots-Seahawks game and the bungled call by Pete Carroll. So, I thought I would do that because we're going to see it. If you haven't seen it already 150 times this week, you're going to see it 150 times more. So
I just saw it about 2 minutes ago on TV.
Yeah.
And seeing Richard Sherman's face is incredible every single time because that's
the part you like.
There's so much anguish on his face. And those were the years where I really did not like Richard Sherman because he was a 49er menace.
So you were rooting for the Patriots that day.
I was rooting for the Patriots that day. Yes, I was, because I was in a much different mindset too. So I really hated the Seahawks back then.
Does anybody know that if they would have run the ball in with Marshawn Lynch and won the game, that Javon Curse's catch along the sidelines a couple of plays before that would be regarded as the greatest play in Super Bowl history?
Even better than the helmet catch?
It would have been right on par with that. Exactly. Like you see the helmet catch all the time, and it's like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Nobody even remembers that the Giants still had to go another 25, 30 yards, and Plaxico Burress ended up getting open for the winning touchdown. But, yeah, Javon Curse made that catch. The ball got – I don't know how he ended up with the ball. Nobody knows. And that's what set them up for those plays on the goal line. So it was a kind of a cruel twist of fate for Javon Curse fans.
It is definitely a cruel twist of fate for all those Curse fans out there. I don't know that I've ever met
many
one.
of you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not many.
Hey, we're going to have to play Chris versus the fans in the next segment because we're a little too late right here, but that's okay. We'll move everything. So if you're on the phone, stay right there, and you will be next in line.
All right, so what did you guys pick for the Super Bowl? I'll do my pick here and get it out of the way. What did you guys do?
Both Tony and I chose. Well, we chose on the spread. Is that what you're going on?
No, we don't. We never pick on the spread.
Right? Well, we did, and we said Seahawks, but I think Tony.
You're doing Seahawks anyway.
Yeah. There's part of me that wants to take the Patriots because I feel like they're already been written off, and I feel like that's great bulletin board material for Mike Vrabel to bring up to his team. I could see a world where the Patriots stun the Seahawks, but I'm not going to go that route. I'll go Seahawks.
I could see a world too. The only world that it'll happen in is if Sam Darnold has one of his games. I mean, he's going to have to throw 3 interceptions. Otherwise, I think the Seahawks can run the ball. I think the Seahawks can move it through the air. And there's one reason that I cannot pick the Patriots, and I've tried to for 2 weeks think about how I could pick the Patriots, but there's one reason I cannot, and that reason is Matthew Stafford,
yes,
who was the MVP last night.
Yeah.
And you say, well, why Matthew Stafford? Because if you watch the NFC Championship game, you did, I did, everybody did. The passes that Matthew Stafford was completing in that game were incredible. I've hardly ever seen a quarterback throw more accurate passes than he did to move the Rams up and down the field. And as I watched him do that, I thought to myself, there's no way Drake May can do that. I just don't think he can. Your receivers maybe in a few years, but your receivers just don't get open against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So you have to put the ball into the smallest window. And the way Drake May is playing right now, I don't see it happening. So that's the one thing I can't get past. I think Drake May will try to, scramble, but I don't think the Seahawks will let him. I think Denver was stupid not to put a spy. They didn't. I think Seattle, if they get hurt by that, will put a spy and try to slow that down. I think people are trying to make excuse for Drake May and say, well, it was the snow in Denver and the bad conditions. But there were no bad conditions.
He plays in New England, okay?
Right, number one. Number two, there was no bad conditions in the first half, and he couldn't do anything in the first half either.
That Broncos defense is just that good.
Yeah, but the Seahawks are better.
Oh, I know.
So that's where I have to also come down and pick the Seahawks here. So
all right.
I'm going to take the Seahawks. I hope Jackson Smith and Jig was the MVP just to finish off a great season for anybody who had him on their fantasy team. Oh, yes, I did.
Yes, you did. And I was going to take him too. We stole each other's players in the draft, but you ended up obviously winning the entire league, so that worked out better for you. Right. Let's take a break real quick, and then we'll do some Chris versus the fans. How does that sound?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get the tie line to work through the internet here at the hotel, but I'm not having a lot of success yet. So
let's just keep this line open just in case.
We will.
Okay.
We will.
All right. We'll be back with Chris versus the fans.
From the 855.
under control.
I'm trying everything.
This side of things. All right, we're gonna stick with this. Side? This is working, so we're just gonna stick with it. Okay.
Yeah, I tried everything I could to get the tie line. I got it hooked up to the Wi-Fi here in the hotel, but then I didn't know from there it wouldn't connect to where. Anyway, I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm just not.
Hey, you did more troubleshooting than I thought you would. That is for sure. So it's okay. We got everything. We're under control. Now we can play some Chris versus the fans and get back on track.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, this is the last day to qualify for this grand prize because we did a qualification for the week, not the month. You will be qualified for a chance to win this week's grand prize, a pair of tickets to see Guns N' Roses at Snapdragon Stadium on September 2nd. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Get it right.
.com. I have to get it right. I can't unsee that N anymore after you pointed it out. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. And if you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today. All right, let's get to our first contestant. And we will go with, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Howdy.
Howdy. Are you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
Real quick, Scrappy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to Mike and everybody playing and people that are hanging in with us today because we are giving it everything we've got.
Yes, we are.
We appreciate everybody helping.
We had a shift change. We had a technical difficulty. All right, Mike. Who won NFL MVP last night?
I hope it was Matt Stafford because that's who I'm going to get.
Correct. It was. And then he immediately, Chris, Tony and I talked about this earlier. I was very happy for Rams fans that Matthew Stafford stood on that stage and said, I'm coming back next year, instead of making him wait like Aaron Rodgers for 3 months.
Yeah. And it was nice. He had his 4 daughters up there on the stage with him. And thankfully, none of them fell off the stage because if they had, he wouldn't have cared.
I didn't see that one coming. I'll be honest. I did not see that one coming. All right. Back to Mike.
Oops, honey. We lost one down there.
I think he would probably go after his daughters a little bit more than the photographer.
I hope so.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. Mike, who is the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft?
Oh, God. I don't know. And I don't think Chris knows. Let's go with Draymond Green.
Draymond Green is a good guess because it's basically a pass. We'll see if Chris knows.
I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark was 2024, but I get my years mixed up. So I think she's been in the league for 2 years. She had a rookie year. Then last year, she didn't play very well. So I now have to think of what team it was. Oh, man. Oh, good job. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll say it's not Caitlin Clark, but I'll say her.
She was injured most of last year.
I'm going to be so upset.
Paige Beckers.
Goodness gracious. How could I forget that?
Well, you're also kind of flustered as well because, yeah. All right, here we go to Mike. Question number 3. You get this right or Chris gets it wrong, you're qualified for Guns N' Roses. Okay, when a golf shot is called a fried egg, what does that mean?
I think that's when it hits in the turf on the green.
I can't give that to you, but we'll see if Chris knows.
I'm pretty sure I know because it looks kind of like a fried egg. That's why they call it that. Mike, you're very close, but it's when the ball lands in the sand and kind of buries in the sand, and then there's kind of a ring around the ball, and the ball's down in there, and it looks like a fried egg.
All right, sorry about that. Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
All right, Mike's disappointed.
That's a tough shot, I guess. Do you have you hit a few of those, Scrabe?
I've actually practiced them just for the heck
I
of
think
it.
for weekend golfers, you just pick it up and put it on top of the sand and try your shot.
Yeah,
that's too hard.
You have to really chop at those things.
Yeah, those are tough. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next contestant, which will be Andrew in San Diego. Hello, Andrew.
Hello,
Hi, Andrew.
hello. Ready for Friday the 13th?
Oh, yes. Is that next week?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's next week.
You
I was going to
don't need to
say, I
remind
thought today may be.
No, if Friday the 13th is next week, I'm ready for it. I love Friday the 13th.
Scrabe, you'll have his Friday the 13th shirt on.
I
I'm
can't,
sure.
no, because it's Friday the 12th that Jason is sad about. So I have to wear it on the Friday the 12th. And the shirt kind of fell apart, so I'm not really wearing it. All right, let's go, Andrew, to question number 1.
When he said Friday the 13th, I thought maybe today was, and that explains all of the difficulties we're having.
No, just February 6th. What team did the Seahawks beat to make it to the Super Bowl?
This year?
Yes.
The Rams.
The Rams is correct. The Rams, baby.
Rams, baby.
All right, here
Who
we
did they
go.
beat to get to their last? Real quick, who did they, just for bonus points, who did they beat to get to their last Super Bowl before this one?
I know. It was the 49ers, okay? It was the
Very
whole
good. Okay, move
Michael
on. You can now
Crabtree.
move on.
Crabtree! You want to talk about the best?
Let's throw the fade. Well, you throw the fade. I could have covered that, Richard Sherman.
Yeah, anybody could have covered that one. Everybody knew it was coming. So, all right, Andrew, here we go. Question number 2. Who won the 2025 Stanley Cup?
Ooh, Stanley Cup.
Better get this one, 'cause you know I'm a hockey guy.
Not the Blackhawks, not the Blues. I'll say the Red Wings.
Red Wings. Maybe back in the
Wings.
day.
The Dead Wings. You know, it's interesting. I was looking at this morning. The team that won the Stanley Cup last year was the same team that won it the year before. And that team is currently in last place in its division, in 8th place out of 8 teams.
Wow.
So it's not looking like they're going to win 3 in a row, but they are the Florida Panthers.
Correct.
Sorry about that,
Andrew.
Yeah.
All
my
right.
hockey stuff.
You know, we're going to have to go with the tiebreaker just because we need to get back on track. So, you know what we'll use, Chris? Miguel Andujar's stats are up in front of me. So we're going to do some Miguel Andujar stats. All right.
The newest Padre.
Actually, they signed a guy last night to a minor league deal. So he's the second newest Padre.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Let's go to Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Have you ever played tiebreaker before?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put you down. Chris, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to give me a number, and then Jason's going to guess whether or not the actual answer is higher or lower than what you said. So, how many home runs has Miguel Andujar hit in his 9-year career?
9 years. It's not going to be that many. I'm going to say he hit like 12 his first year. I know he hit 10 last year, but the middle 7 years, he didn't hit very many, maybe 35 total. 35 plus 22. I come up with 57 home runs based on my math.
57 home runs. Jason, is the actual answer higher or lower than 57?
Less, he says.
You are correct. Stay right there.
He didn't even hit 57?
No.
Come on, Miguel.
No. He 53.
What's
You were
it?
close.
What is it?
53.
Oh, it was close. 53.
He hit 20. He hit most of them in his 2018 season. He hit 27 home runs that year. And
he hit 27 that year.
Yeah, and he hit 10 last
So
year.
he hit 10 last year. So So in the 6 years in between, he had a total of 6.
But he didn't play many games.
That's not very good.
He didn't play many games.
But
he played
still,
like 21, 45, 36, 30. And then last year he played 94. But yeah. So
all right. Well, good on our who was the winner there?
Jason.
All right. Good job, Jason. Take us out, Scrabe, because we got to get out of here.
All right. We are going to do the big 5 on the other side. And what you'll
find. We're still trying to get relaxed into this.
I'm standing right now trying to figure this out. But in the big 5, we're going to talk about Fernando Mendoza. We're going to talk about the Madden simulation of the Super Bowl. But Ellie De La Cruz did something that maybe has some Padres fans feeling PTSD. So we'll talk about that when we get back here on 97.3 The Fan.
Ben and Woods on The Fan.
I hate mustard water. I will shake at least 10 times.
Matt Scraby broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Chris Ello broadcasting from Cupertino. And he's doing a good job on the technology. So we're going to stick with this. Can you hear me, Chris? I'm just making sure. It's been a weird afternoon so far. Okay. I don't think he can hear me. He's looking. Can you hear me now? I don't know what's happening today. I really don't. I'm going to put him in my ear so I can hear him in case he says anything. But we're about to get into the Big Five. All guests on 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Chris, can you hear me?
I feel like I'm on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline.
You kind of are. You kind of are. You're
every time I go to break, I'm making more progress on getting the tie line working, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, well, I appreciate you trying. I mean, not many people will try this hard, but you're a guy who is trying this hard. All right, let's just go into traffic, and then we'll go into the Big Five after that.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by the San Diego District Attorney's Office. Crash involving a motorcycle has cleared up on southbound 805 near Imperial. Watch out for a little residual slowing there. Also eastbound 8 for the 67 stalled car in the center divide. Another crash involving a motorcycle in the North County eastbound 78 before El Camino Real. That is being cleared out of the slow lane. Buying auto insurance and reporting an accident after crashing your car is a felony crime. The San Diego County District Attorney's Office and the California Department of Insurance work together to investigate this costly fraud. For more information, visit SanDiegoDA.com or call 1-800-315-7672. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. I need 3 arms today.
Number 5.
Let's just get started with this one. I thought this was a fun one to start with, but I'm not sure how Chris is going to feel about it. I saw an opinion from an expert. Don't remember who this expert was, but they are saying that the Seahawks are going to roll in the Super Bowl because they are more familiar with Levi's Stadium than the Patriots are. Now, the Seahawks play once a year at Levi's Stadium. They know the sight lines, things like that. Chris, how much of a factor do you think this plays?
1%.
So it plays
I'm not gonna say
factor, but
0%.
not much of a factor.
Yeah, I'm going to say not 0%, because I think it matters if you've been in a stadium before. You got a little feel for it. Just like going into a basketball arena, it's hard to win that first time. A lot of times because you're just not totally familiar with it, the sight lines, et cetera, the background where you're shooting at the basket. So I'm going to say it can be. Did whoever put this together go back through all the Super Bowls and see?
No.
You know what I mean?
It was
like
just
which team had played more in that stadium?
Yeah.
It's just a throwaway here. We don't even know if it's true.
Well, no, their opinion is that the Seahawks are going to roll. They have no proof behind this opinion.
Right. They have no proof behind this. Like last year, where was the Super Bowl?
New Orleans, I believe.
I don't remember.
I know that the Rams won in SoFi, and then the Bucks won in their stadium.
The Rams and the Buccaneers did win in their home stadium. That's the only 2 times it's ever been like that.
Yeah, I can't.
This seems like a fugazi to me. I have to tell you.
Yes, I can't buy into this either. The Patriots, by the way, did come to Levi's last year when they played the 49ers. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But it was a fun thing for me to think about for a second.
It seems really, really silly. I just does.
Our resident
I don't know.
Patriots fan Nate is predicting a 42-9 Seahawks win. So we'll keep that in mind.
Against his own team?
Yeah, I think maybe Nate is doing your strategy.
Bad Patriots fan.
I think he's doing your strategy.
Yeah, he's trying my strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never do that on my strategy. I always give credit to the other team, way too much credit to the other team. That is part of my strategy, but I never pick against my team like that.
It is true.
You have to believe you can win.
Yeah. The NFL Combine has become less and less of a thing over the last few years, meaning no player wants to participate if they don't have to. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, or former Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, joined Pat McAfee to discuss whether the Combine and whether or not he is going to throw in said Combine.
Yeah, so talking about it all with my agent, and at the Combine, you're throwing at different receivers, it's a whole different thing, and I want to make sure I give my guys the best chance. So I want to throw a pro day with my guys, with my running backs, and be there with the boys. The Combine, I don't think throwing is going to be a priority just because it's such a quick turnaround. January 19th, I mean, I feel bad. Like, a lot of the guys on our team, like, luckily I'm in a better position that I don't got to throw on the Combine. But a lot of our guys, we had Kalen Black playing the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Game 17, that's a true NFL season. And all the other guys, they're busting their butt training already. And, I've started training already down here in California. And it's just been a great process. And like everybody always says, whenever I watch interviews or ask former NFL players like you guys, they say, hey, this is an 8-week interview. You got to give it your all, limited distractions, and really lock in.
All right. Excuse me. That's enough of that. My question, and I'm up first, is the NFL holding on to a dying event? And I kind of think so. But my question now, because it just hit me, does it matter? Like the short turnaround he was talking about, January 19th, the Combine's like February 26th, and you're interviewing for a job that's going to pay you millions of dollars. I don't have any issue with you running a month after you've last played, but do you think that that Fernando Mendoza has a point here, Chris?
He has a point for himself.
Yes.
A player of his stature doesn't need the Combine. A player of his stature needs to go to a pro day. People are going to come watch him, right? They're going to come from all over just to look at him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he should make it as advantageous as possible for himself to get receivers he's familiar with. However, I still think the pro day is a big deal.
Yes, the pro day for sure.
I'm not the pro day. I'm sorry. I still think the Combine is a big deal for the quarterback from Marshall or the quarterback from Fresno State or the quarterback from, wherever that wants to go show what they can do. And they can't call for a pro day because no one's going to come see them. So I think it's a little short-sighted to say, I think the Combine can be really beneficial. I think a lot of those stuff is, decided ahead of time on a guy like Fernando Mendoza, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd have to not hit any receivers at all to fall out of the number 1 or 2 pick.
Even then, I don't know if it would happen,
You know what I mean? They've already decided on a guy like him, so absolutely no need. But I think it's important. I don't know all the stories, but I'm imagining there's hundreds of NFL players that might not have been drafted had it not been for the Combine. So
I can totally see that.
Still beneficial.
I could totally see that.
I'm not going to watch it I wouldn't watch it no matter what they do. I think it's absurd to watch it, but I think it's important for the guys that are in it.
I used to like watching it, but now I think it's overkill.
You did.
I hate when they do this where they take an event and they make it some huge TV event now. Like, I hate that. Why does everything need to be such a big deal? Just put it on NFL Network. Let me watch it. It just bothers me. The NFL just has to do everything like it's the best thing in the world.
There's only one thing that's cool at the Combine anyway. Rich Eisen doing the 40-yard dash.
Yeah, he's brave. I would never do the 40-yard dash because I don't want to know my time.
I like Rich Eisen, by the way.
I do too.
I want to say I like Rich Eisen.
Yeah.
I'm a Rich Eisen fan.
I am too. He's a good interviewer, that guy.
Number 3.
Chris, you're going to be very happy about this because you've been screaming from the rooftops about it, but Tom Brady no longer has a vote for the various Associated Press NFL awards. He shouldn't have had one in 2024 because he was an owner of the Raiders, but according to Mike Florio, it's another example of the clear and irreconcilable conflict of interest flowing from his insistence on working as a member of the media covering the entire league while owning part of one of its teams. So, Chris, will the NFL ever actually make Tom quit his broadcasting job or give up his team?
I think he's the only person on earth who could have even pulled this off in the first place. And so here's the problem, right? If they ever, what if Greg Olson now, wants to take up ownership of the Bears or be part owner of the Bears?
I know he was talking to people about GM. I don't know how serious it was, but
my point being, they can't stop him now.
Oh no, the precedent's
Tom Brady's
set.
doing it. Yeah. But you know my feelings on this. This is not fair in any way, shape, or form. Right now, it doesn't seem like an issue because the Raiders never play an important game. But one of these days, the Raiders are going to play an important game, and Fox is going to want to carry it, and they're going to want, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. But I just don't think it's fair that Tom Brady gets to go to, Charger practice or Dolphin practice or Patriot practice because, maybe the Raiders will play them later in the season. And that's a huge advantage. Nobody in the Dolphin camp would ever be allowed into the Raider facility. I don't know why the NFL doesn't see this. I really don't. How are they missing this? This is a huge deal. It doesn't seem like it now because the Raiders never win a game. But one of these days, the Raiders are going to win some games, and it's going to be big.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's more and more people calling for him to have to step away from one of the two, and obviously he's not going to step away from being an owner of an NFL team.
Good. Then step away from broadcasting because he's not that good. He's not even I would take Tony Romo any day. I would take Troy Aikman any day. I would take Chris Collinsworth any day in terms of – and I would take Greg Olson any day.
I think Greg
Tom
Olson
Brady's no better than fifth on my list.
I think Greg Olson goes up to the top of the list, but
just however you want to list it, I put all those guys ahead of Brady.
By the way, I just saw the Javon Curse catch that you were talking about earlier. I forgot how incredible that catch was.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was lying on his back and the ball's in the air and he's just trying to find it and he finds it. And then anyway, I do think to finish, I do think that the NFL is going to have to make a decision on this one way or the other at some point because there are people raising the alarm on it.
It is so unfair. You cannot tell me that if the Raiders play the Chiefs for the division title and Brady's been in the Chiefs camp all year getting ready for broadcast, that isn't an advantage. It just has to be an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Unless
you just can't do it.
Yeah, I can't argue with it. I can't.
Number 2.
Something that we are all very familiar with here in San Diego has happened in Cincinnati. A young superstar riding a motorcycle. This time, it's star Ellie De La Cruz. Reds GM Brad Meador said about the video of Ellie De La Cruz on a dirt bike, quote, "I talked to Ellie. He wasn't riding it. It was just for the video," end quote. I don't believe that, number one.
Wait, he wasn't riding it?
He was just on it for the video, apparently.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sure.
So my question, I'm up first. Should the Reds punish Ellie? The Reds should not punish Ellie for this one, but I would, honestly, if I'm the GM, I'll be like, hey, you ride a motorcycle, you risk what Fernando Tatis Jr. did years ago when he broke his wrist and he had to miss a ton of time and he ended up missing the entire season. I would sit him down and have a serious talk with him. And I understand, like, it's his choice to ride a motorcycle, but he's also trying to get a contract that's multi-millions of dollars. And so he probably shouldn't ride that motorcycle, but I think they sit him down and they say, you cannot do this. What do you think, Chris?
That's what they'll do. I mean, they're not going to punish him, and I wish Tony was here for this, but I know for a fact that there used to be a lot of contract stipulations. And there were a bunch of things you could not do when you were a player. And if you did get injured on a bike or playing pickup basketball or skiing or, water skiing, whatever it was,
Lamar
You
Jackson jumped over a wave runner and hurt himself.
Right. Okay. But anyway, you voided your contract.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You just didn't get the money. And I mean, I'm never on ownership side. You know that. But on something like this, I am. I mean, you have to make some sacrifices if you want to make this kind of money. And I don't blame teams for trying to protect themselves. I don't know if that's done anymore or to what extent that's done. But honestly, Fernando Tatis Jr., we can love him and we will always, but what he did was incredibly irresponsible. And he's really lucky that the Padres, were willing to give him the money anyway, just because they didn't want to create a big stir. But that was, we've kind of forgiven Fernando and moved on. But I mean, think of how angry we were at the time.
I remember it was announced on the opening day of spring training where everybody's excited. And then I think it was Bob Melvin comes out and says, yeah, well, he's going to miss a ton of time. We're like, what?
And then they're showing videos of him, riding on cars out at, and Fernando, come on.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Fernando has definitely grown a lot since those times. But Ellie De Cruz, come on, man. I love watching you play baseball. Stop it.
Number 1.
Oh man, we're running out of time. But one of my favorite non-real events of the year is the Madden Super Bowl play that they have. So here's the video, and the game is tied. If you're not able to watch the video, you can go to our YouTube later at Gwynn and Chris SD. The game is tied 17-17 at the end of the third quarter. Here is what happens, Chris.
I think it's safe to say, Mike, that those halftime adjustments have been made.
There's your guy, Greg Olson, by the way.
Patriots offense, they've done all they could. They'll be forced to punt it away. Can they get one more stop? That return changes the math. Seattle inching closer to the end zone.
20 seconds.
Mike McDonald is doubling down. He's saying we have a chance to win the Super Bowl right now.
3 seconds.
Every Seahawks fan, they're having deja vu. They've seen this moment before. You're a few yards, Mike, from deciding everything. This final play can make you a legend or haunt you forever.
What do you think happens, Chris?
Throws the slant to Smith and Jigba for a touchdown. That's what I do.
Hands it up.
And this is going to be a touchdown. The Seattle Seahawks.
And the Seahawks win the Super Bowl 23-20. Super Bowl MVP Sam Darnold, according to Madden. So there you go. That was incredible.
The fact that Madden game came down to Seattle on the 1 yard line and what they would do, run or pass. That's really, really incredible that it ended up matching up with what happened in the Super Bowl many years ago.
I think that was scripted, Chris. That has to be. That has to be.
You think? You think Madden would script that? Madden's got to be presenting something legit. This just was total irony here.
Usually I believe in these games a little bit more, but this time I'm like,
this is total BS. This is obvious what they did to set this up.
They're making Seahawks fans happy because they ran the ball and they scored the touchdown to win the game. So.
And they've just sold another 80 million copies of Madden.
Well, if you didn't know, it's up to 70% off today or this week. I bought Madden over the Christmas break because it was like 85% off, and so I've been playing Madden. All right, that's it for the Big Five. When we get back, we're going to recap the day in sports. We still have AJ Cassavell to go as well, so stick with us here on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on. And he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're gonna eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was gonna say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say. I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a, what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all, actually. They're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it. With dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now, I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, put me on. And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them, because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say. I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all, actually. They're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it. With dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now, I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is final hour of Gwynn and Chris here on 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of the week for our live shows on 97.3 The Fan. It's been an unexpectedly tough day here behind the board, but we're making it through. Chris is up in Cupertino, San Jose area for the Aztecs women's game against San Jose State tomorrow. And then he's getting out of there right before the Super Bowl, so he doesn't have to deal with any of that. Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I don't want to be here for, what do they call it again? The dynastic kickoff? Or
dynamic kickoff. Dynamic.
Yeah, the dynamic kickoff. I don't want to miss the dynamic. I do want to miss the dynamic kickoff on Sunday. I want to be back home for that. Here's a great story for those of you that are conscribacy people.
Okay.
So you want me to give it to you, Scrape? Because you're going to love this one.
Yes.
All right. This is right up your alley, and this is right up all the alley of a lot of people out there. The odds makers in Las Vegas have spoken. Now, I don't know if you paid attention to this, but if you have and you believe in this, and you have to, you have to put some money down in order to, be excited about the game, you may want to take this into consideration. But the sports books in Las Vegas and the people who run DraftKings and all of this stuff all say that they are praying for a low-scoring Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw this.
And evidently what is going on here, the 45.5 points, which is the spread for this game, and the over-under total points, that is the lowest total in 10 years. And it's like only the third or fourth lowest in the last 50 years for a Super Bowl. So, and obviously you've got, the Seahawks defense, you got New England defense. They think it's going to be a bit low scoring, so they set the number low at 45.5. Well, actually they set it at 46.5. But as soon as they did that, a whole bunch of people came in and bet under because they thought it was going to go under. So they had to lower it to 45.5. Well, ever since they've lowered it to 45.5, every Tom, Dick, and Harry who's making a bet on this game is betting over. And the bookmakers are worried because if the game goes over, they're going to lose a ton of money.
Good.
Right now, I know. Right now, the Score Bet, which is some, website that follows this stuff, says that 60% of the bets are on the over. So if over wins, then the books have to pay 60% of the people.
Wow.
I'm just saying, if you're a conspiracy theory and the final score of this game is 13-10, don't be surprised.
I mean,
we have, I don't want to say it, right? We don't want to say there's things but this is what happens when you get in bed with the world of gambling. People are going to see this and, they're going to say, hey, the fix is going to be in. They have to keep the score low so that the gambling people win, the books win. I'm just saying, something to keep an eye on if nobody's scoring any points on Sunday.
I don't know.
I know you don't want to believe it, right? You don't want to go there. You just want to sit back.
I do want to go there and be like, everybody's
you do want to
behind
go
it.
there. I mean, here's a quote. This is straight up from Johnny Avello. Last name is Avello. That means he's a distant relative.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Are you related to him?
Johnny Avello is his name. He's the head of the sports book at DraftKings.
Oh man, this is your evil twin.
My evil twin Johnny says, it doesn't matter who wins, but if this game ends up 34-31, that will not be a good result. He said the best scenario at this point is for this game to have limited scoring. Like, why would you even put that out there?
I don't know.
Because if the game ends up being 13-10 or 20, anything under 45 points,
Everybody's going to scream from the rooftop. It's fixed.
Right. We knew it. Yeah, we knew it. Yeah. So this is not good for the NFL. I know they don't care. They don't think it matters. But there's a lot of people out there. I don't believe that I'm one of them. But I think there's a lot of people out there who believe this stuff it can be fixed, and that that this kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, I mean, let's pair that up with Emmanuel Clase, who more has been released about the investigation, and it's now seeming like he in 48 games manipulated a pitch over 2 years. So now you got a guy like him on the inside doing it. And I was talking to Tony earlier. There's Luis Ortiz is the other person that's being accused in this whole thing, and both of them are innocent until proven guilty. I will say that, but I can't believe that these are the only two guys in Major League Baseball that are doing this. I think we're gonna find more because it's too easy for them.
I hope we don't find more.
Me too.
And I don't think it's a guarantee. I don't think it's a guarantee we're going to find more.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Most major league players, I believe, make so much money that it just is silly for them to even get involved in this. And they're smart enough to know that. In this particular case, I'm just thinking Emmanuel Clase is dumb. And he's dumb. And they were able to take advantage of him. And they were able to get him to believe that it's not even the money that he got. He was trying to do this to help his friends win money, right?
Yeah, which is insane.
But you have to be dumb if you're Emmanuel Clase to believe it's going to work. And I think the fact that they have uncovered this, and now that they've found it could be 48 games that he was throwing the ball and making pitches, you've got to really be stupid now to think you could get away with it. Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't think it's as widespread. It's kind of like saying when the Astros did the trash can thing that everybody was probably doing the trash can thing. No, they weren't. So I don't believe that just because there's, in this case, a little smoke, there's fire. I really think this is two guys that were stupid and they got caught and their careers are over. And, I just can't believe. Maybe part of it is that I don't want to believe, right? Because if we ever did get to the point, again, I've said it 100 times, if we ever got to the point where we thought the Super Bowl really was fixed on Sunday, we really thought it was predetermined that the score was going to go under 45 points because Johnny Avello of DraftKings needs it to be under 45 points. If we ever really believed that, right, or had any kind of proof that happened, that'd be the end of the Super Bowl. It would just be the end of it.
It would.
There's no reason to have a Super Bowl if we think that it's already predetermined.
I know, but you have I will bring together the Super Bowl and this thing that Johnny Avello said, also Emmanuel Clase, and then you got Puig doing illegal betting wherever he was, and he's betting a bunch.
Yasiel Puig.
But Clase, they have identified at least 250 pitches that could have been bet on. That is a lot for a closer. You have to think he averaged 20 pitches a game. That is double-digit games that he is now, or 48 games that he is now suspect in. And that's crazy to me.
Fortunately, it's him. It wasn't the Guardians.
True,
it wasn't
true.
The whole staff, right? It was one guy, maybe two, and I got to believe that, they're going to be scared straight if anybody else ever thought of doing something like this. I mean, I'm not even going to go there because people will take it the wrong way. And there's probably examples of every kind of athlete being caught one way or another down the time. So I'm going to leave it alone. But there are certain athletes that for whatever reason, I think these gambling people think they can get to easier than others. And, they're able to find somebody in Class A who was dumb enough to think this would work. Look, almost every college kid that's ever gambled on a game or their own team or shaved points has been caught.
Yeah.
I'm sure a few have slipped through the cracks, but you got to be pretty stupid to even try this now. Everybody is on such high alert that you're really showing a lot of guts and a lot of chutzpah to even, get involved in something like this anymore, especially with everybody making so much money to begin with.
Yeah, I think this is probably more prevalent in college sports, in the smaller college sports, because it's less, there's less eyes on it. And also you're able to get some guys who probably do need the money. And so if you offer them money, it might be a little bit easier to get someone to accept. But
unfortunately for DraftKings and unfortunately for FanDuel and Caesars and MGM and everybody else, and I know Congress and the people who run this world have a lot more important things on their mind right now, but eventually they're going to have to just hand down something that says no more of these stupid prop bets. We just can't do them anymore.
Which I love prop bets, and everybody's ruining it for me.
We can't do it. We can't bet, that a guy's going to get an assist in a hockey game. You just can't do it anymore. There's just too many things that can happen.
I don't disagree with that whatsoever. All right.
We're going to have to stop. What is it? Save ourselves from ourselves,
yes,
as it were.
That is true.
So,
all right. That is, I was going to say the end of the Big Five, but it's not the end of the Big Five. It's the end of the segment. When we get back, Chris, I have to tell you and get your quick thoughts on what the ski jumping teams are doing in the Olympics they're cheating. And so we'll get into that. Yes, it's a big deal. It's one of the biggest deals of the Winter Olympics so far.
So we're going from gambling issues to cheating issues.
Yeah, this world is just full of cheaters.
Oh, my God.
That's next. 97.3 The Fan.
Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero, never met a pitch he couldn't swing at, and powerhouse hitter for the Expos, and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. And this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman wearing the 51 jersey right there. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second number 1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero, never met a pitch he couldn't swing at, and powerhouse hitter for the Expos, and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, oh, yeah, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout.
We know how.
And Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. Matt Scraby here with you. Radio. Matt Scraby here with you in the Bill Howe Studios. Chris Ello up in San Jose area for the Aztecs women's.
In the Bill Howe hotel room.
There you go. We need to patent that a little bit. I know you got something to say, Chris, but I want to get this out of the way. Crotchgate is taking over the Olympics.
What is it?
Crotchgate.
Crotchgate?
Yes, that's what some people are calling
already.
it.
They haven't even started the Olympics.
Actually, technically, they have.
Some of the opening Right, I saw the opening ceremonies actually today live on the flight up here. Again, politics has to touch everything. The United States walked in right after Venezuela. I thought that was interesting. But go ahead with your Crotchgate.
That is interesting. Yeah. I didn't know this. I'll be watching it a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Ahead, do your thing.
The Norway ski jumping team is at the center of the scandal, and I'm going to make this quick, but Basically, Chris, there are allegations that certain ski jumpers, now when you get a suit for ski jumping, they have to 3D scan you so that you don't have any extra material on your suit. That's unfair. You're supposed to basically wear a suit that represents your body. Now, some male ski jumpers allegedly injected something into their area to make that area in the crotch bigger so that when the area subsides or the injection subsides, they have more cloth to work with. So there's a little bit extra suit. Now, like a couple square centimeters of suit apparently can help you fly 5.8 meters farther. So this is why they are doing it. And the Norwegians, as Tony says, are under fire for this.
Well, these are really Norweenies.
Okay, I gotta save that clip. But really, Tony and I were talking about this off the air. People are willing to do anything to win.
I mean, look at swimmers who shave their bodies before every race. They shave every last
that
hair
makes
off their
more
body
sense
to get,
than injecting acid into the area.
Well, I guess if somebody, I don't know. It's everybody. You're right. Everybody's got to try to stay a step ahead. It's kind of a shame, frankly. It really, truly is. But,
it's kind of a shame. Anyway,
I mean, we've come to just agree with it. I mean,
Yeah. All right. You had some things to me. If you're sorry, everyone. We are having a back and forth. There's some delay here, so I'm trying to get used to it. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Why am I delayed, I wonder? Usually. Anyway. All right, here's a couple things I wanted to get to. One, the passing today of Hall of Fame quarterback Sonny Jurgensen. Now, Sonny was a passer back in the days of the NFL where you didn't throw the ball that much. He still holds the Washington franchise record for most touchdowns in a season with 31.
Wow.
He also used to hold the Eagles record until Carson Wentz broke that. He's in the Hall of Fame. He held all the passing records until people started coming around and throwing the football more. The reason I mention this, he passed away at the age of 91. Is there any way you can put up is it too hard for you to find a photo of Sonny Jurgensen somewhere and pop it up on the screen, Scraby?
No, I just got to find it.
The reason that I pop a shot here of Sonny Jurgensen up there for those that don't remember old Sonny. Are you?
I'm working on it.
Okay. Well, here's what you're going to notice about Sonny Jurgensen. Didn't exactly have the chiseled body of an all-time Hall of Fame athlete.
No, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Right. The belly was kind of hanging out over the belt. The socks were a little rumpled. He just was kind of a slovenly looking quarterback out there. But, he got the job done. And one of the things that people loved about Sonny Jurgensen, that is he was kind of the everyman quarterback. You watch Sonny Jurgensen play, and you felt, well, hell, if he can do it, I can do it. The same there's Sonny, and that actually looks looking okay there. There we go. There's a good shot for those watching on the YouTube. Yeah, there's the heavy set belly there. You don't see too many quarterbacks looking like that anymore. All right, he's got the single bar face mask, which is hilarious too.
Love it.
Now see if you can find a picture of Mickey Lolich, the great Detroit Tiger lefty who passed away a couple of days ago. Mickey Lolich, who actually, and I hadn't even remembered this, finished his career with the Padres, believe it or not. He pitched out of the bullpen in his last couple seasons for the Padres. But during his heyday, he starred for the Detroit Tigers. In the 1968 World Series, he will forever be remembered for starting and winning 3 games. There he is in the World Series. You can see the bunting behind him there. I don't know that is the picture that does the most justice, but Mickey Lolich was kind of a heavy-set guy also. And his belly kind of stuck out a little bit, and he kind of just, flung the thing up there. And he just had a rubber arm, and he could pitch every day, and he pitched game 1 of that World Series, or Game 2 of that World Series. He pitched Game 5 of the World Series and came right back in Game 7, pitched a complete game in all 3 games, beat Bob Gibson in the finale, and the Tigers won the World Series. And no one will ever do that again. There's just no way you're ever going to get a pitcher to start 3 games of a World Series and win them all. Mickey Lola, there's a little, okay.
I'm actually having I'm having a really hard time finding a
him.
picture of him out of shape. Oh, okay. Then I'll take
Out
that
of
one
shape.
down.
Well, yeah, I don't know who that was. But I guess the reason that these 2 guys go together, in my mind, is because they were both, Mickey Lolich was kind of like the hefty lefty before, Janikowski. Sonny Jurgensen was just the mighty righty. He was just a little bit over. We're never going to get this again, right? There are no athletes that look like these guys anymore.
No.
Athletes are in supreme condition, right? They are perfect. They're in great shape. They are just, chiseled to the, and it just kind of brings back fun memories for people like me of a different era where some kind of, fat guy could go out there and pitch a shutout. It was kind of cool. Bartolo Colon might be the last one we ever get, Scraby.
Yeah, I feel you on this, because even golf is a sport now where you have to be at your top physical.
Right. Even the golfers look good now.
Tiger Woods was the one who changed that.
He did. Yeah. But cheers to the legacies of Mickey Lolich, who I still believe ranks number 5 among lefties on the all-time strikeout list among left-hander. That's pretty good. And Sonny Jurgensen, also, who's a Hall of Famer, both who passed this week, but their legacies will live on, especially in the minds of all of us out there who have put on a couple extra pounds. So cheers to both of those guys.
Me, except for that was before SD fat loss. Yes. I'm trying to see if he was.
Right. I don't think Mickey and Sonny ever met SD Fat Loss. As a matter of fact, Mickey Lolich, the funny thing about old Mickey, when he was done playing, he became a donut salesman.
He became a donut.
He did.
Okay.
He owned a donut shop and he sold donuts.
That is hilarious.
That was Mickey Lolich's after baseball career. So there you go.
EC Money says, how about tennis? You have to be in incredible shape to play tennis.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be out there for 4 hours running around. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
All right. We are going to have the biggest fan announced when we get back. And then we'll also hear from AJ Cassavell. He joined us a little bit earlier today. So stick with us. We got one more segment to go on 97.3 The Fan. I'm going to do my best Tony Gwynn Jr. here. Listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up. It is time for the biggest fan to be given away. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Ruth Farrell Delgado of San Diego. Ruth Farrell Delgado of San Diego.
Who are you giving her to? You said you were giving the biggest fan away. Are you giving her away to who?
I guess to, I don't know. I'm not giving her to anyone.
The biggest fan. You're not giving her away.
You're right. I didn't realize I said that, but I'm not giving you away, Ruth. You are actually qualified if you call back in the next 10 minutes
Come on, Ruth.
Get the grand prize, which is 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Ruth Farrell Delgado, 833-288-0973. Your time starts now. We're going to hear from AJ Cassavell here in just a second, but Chris has a few extra news and notes he wanted to talk about.
I'm running around the room. Sorry, I got to sit back down. I was doing stuff. Hi, everybody. It's me. All right, here's my thing. First of all, quick note for Super Bowl people. Drake May was taken off the injury report today. So that was just a bunch of
malarkey.
Yeah, he's fine. The Seattle safety, whose name is really long, who was injured, he's also off the injury report. So
okay. All right.
That's, you know who I'm talking about, the Seattle guy?
His name starts with an E.
He's a safety.
Eminori or something?
It's really long. That guy, yeah. He's going to be in there. All right. Here's the thing. That guy. Here's the thing I wanted to get to real quick before we do our AJ Cassavell. And you're going to agree with me on this, Scraby.
All right.
This is the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. And just in general, when you do something, even if it's obvious why you're doing it, don't lie about it. Okay? Just face up to it. And here's the story. The Pro Football Hall of Fame today said it is considering making changes to the way they choose Hall of Famers.
Oh, gosh.
This, of course, after the Bill Belichick omission, et cetera, and it generated the outrage. But here's where I'm coming from. Hall of Fame President Jim Porter said in an interview today that the 5-player class, after it was announced last night, that several possible tweaks could be made. And here's the thing. He added, those changes are not specific to Belichick's perceived snub.
Well,
really?
Just don't even say that.
Really? You expect us to believe that? You really expect us to believe that after all of this time, the Hall of Fame is just going to change the voting process just kind of by happenstance in the same year where everyone in America was, outraged over their selections?
Yeah.
Just come and say, look, after what happened this year, and we had a lot of people that were upset, we're going to take a look at it. That's all you have to say. Be honest. We're not that stupid to believe that this just is a, coincidence.
What they should have done is not mention it at all. Just said, we're going to change it. And then just let us be like, oh, we know why they're changing it. And then they never have to, get themselves in this trouble.
The guy comes out and says, oh, no, this has nothing to do with the Belichick thing at all.
It has everything to do with it,
Give me a break. We all know it has to do with the Belichick thing.
Yeah, it has everything to do with it.
Of course it has to do with the Belichick thing. Of course it does. So just tell us.
We are in a day and age. We're in a day and age where people still think that we're stupid. And I don't get it. We're not stupid. We've proven that.
Yeah, we're not. Well, many of us are, but I'm not going to be in that category.
Me neither.
At least not on this one.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
This is so obvious.
There's nothing wrong with them being like, hey,
yeah, we saw the error of our ways.
Yeah,
we need to update some things.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But anyway, I just had to get that off.
So going forward, we call it the Belichick rule.
I mean, that's exactly what it's going to be.
So right? We should just call it that.
Yeah. Just say, hey, we changed it because of Belichick. I mean, they changed, the AFL NFL merger because of Joe Namath winning the game. So don't lie to us and tell us that we were planning to merge anyway. Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Just
I do.
do what you do.
This is a Scraby-approved rant. Scraby-approved rant.
I figured you would like it.
All right.
I figured you'd like this.
We talked to AJ Cassavell earlier, Tony Gwynn Jr. and I. We talked about Miguel Andujar. We talked about the team sale. We talked about some other things. So after traffic, you're going to get to hear from him.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Got a collision on Sepp on 805 before Plaza Boulevard. It's over to the right shoulder. Also reports of a crash blocking the right lane on westbound 54 just before Highland. Going to find on eastbound 8 right around Lake Murray. Reports of a stalled car in the center divide. And looks like a crash has cleared from the Greenfield off-ramp of eastbound 8. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Let's get AJ Cassavell on the line. AJ, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm great, and I love objective athletes. I like it that Tom Brady doesn't think. Like, let him say what he actually thinks and not what he's supposed to think because he played for a team number of years ago.
That's how I feel. He catches a lot of heat for that, and I just feel like that's just his Homer teammates mad at him is what it feels like.
I'll tell you what, I can't stand it when whatever sport, you get the guy on there picking a game and it's his alma mater or it's his team, and it's just a waste of my time to watch who that guy's going to pick because I already know. So at least this one's interesting.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's an interesting thought about that, actually.
Speaking of interesting, AJ, Padres get a right-handed bat, and Miguel Andujar had a good season last year between the Athletics and the Reds. This seems like a low-risk, high-reward type deal, and it kind of fits where the Padres maybe lacked.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's like exactly what they needed at a relatively low cost, low risk. Maybe Miguel Andujar is not the perfect type of bat for some other teams that might need more options defensively, but like he's not going to win you a Gold Glove, but he's going to hit lefties and he might earn some at bats against righties, and he fills that DH, first base, gives you a little bit of versatility because you can move some other guys around. You look at what the Padres did last year against left-handed pitching versus what they did against right-handed pitching. They really could have used a guy like this whose splits were so skewed toward hitting lefties as well as he has. Top of my head, I think it was a 986 OPS last year against left-handed pitching. I want to say the Padres gap in team OPS was around 40 points last year. Like, you add a guy like Andujar to that mix, you start to balance things out a little bit. I wrote a thing today, shameless plug on MLB.com, kind of laying out what the lineups might look like against lefties and against righties, and the way Andujar kind of just makes everything click. And I just think for a lot of reasons, it's a good fit. He'll start against left-handed pitching, probably in the DH spot. He might start against some right-handed pitching, but there you have the option of using guys around the diamond to get them a day at DH, while Sung-Mun Song can be versatile and move around and help the Padres out there. So, yeah, this was just a signing that I think made a lot of sense. It's been an option that I've thought has made a lot of sense all offseason, and finally, just before camp, it comes to fruition.
Talking to AJ Cassavell, MLB.com here on 97.3 The Fan. Real quick on Sung-Mun Song, I'm seeing projections of him like just coming over from the KBO and just being great. I don't know if he will be. I hope he is. But we saw Ha-Seong Kim have a little bit of trouble adjusting to Major League Baseball. What do you think the expectations are for Sung-Mun Song this year?
I think the expectations should probably be tempered, given that it's not just switching leagues to a different caliber of player. It's switching countries. It's switching teammates. There is an adjustment period. And in that sense, I think like to expect him to be some sort of everyday regular contributor, top 6 hitter in the lineup, and without any slumps, without any growing pains, I think that's kind of foolish. I think if the Padres play this right, and if they have the right support system around him and the right pieces in place to not put too much of a burden on him and not ask too much of him, he could be a really, really useful player. And I kind of think that's what they have now. I think like even the Andujar addition helps that. Like you look at what do you expect, what do you want to get from Sungmoon Sung this season? Well, 400, 300 at-bats, probably a lot of those at-bats against right-handed pitching as he's a left-handed hitter, and you're starting him maybe against some righties. You're moving him around a little bit because he's comfortable doing that. He's done that in the past. Yeah, I think that's what it has to be. It has to be, you can expect kind of big things from him in terms of his contributions and what he can do, but maybe in a role that doesn't ask too much of him. It doesn't put him in disadvantageous matchups like lefty on lefty, and maybe he's starting 3 or 4 times a week, at least getting consistent at bats, but not in those spots. I think there's a sweet spot that the Padres have to find. And looking at the roster right now, I think they can find it. The question is, obviously, things change health-wise and things change roster-wise all the time. And you know what? If he plays his way into even more at-bats, if he is mashing like some projections have him, then you ride that wave. You give him that opportunity. But there should definitely be a chance to kind of to allow for him to have some growing pains without writing him off. I think some people were writing off Ha-Seong Kim at the start of his Padres tenure, and quickly he became a very, very valuable piece. I'm not saying that's exactly how this is going to go. We'll see how it's going to go, but I think there's a place for him for Song to be, I don't know, 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Versatile, useful, and not overworked.
For sure. AJ Cassavell, MLB.com, joins us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. And AJ, as we've gotten closer to report day, you start to kind of settle in. And listen, I know AJ often has a spring training surprise for us, but if you're going in terms of the pitching, the starting pitching in particular, you're going in as is. Boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be a big get if Randy Vasquez could now take that next step? We've seen him kind of have 2 successful seasons in terms of growth. How big of a deal could it be for the Padres to have him really take that next step forward?
It would be huge, and I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility. I say this like understanding kind of how crazy it sounds, but he was legitimately one of my favorite Padres to watch last season, because there were so many times I was like, oh, here's the night where we probably kind of learned that Randy Vasquez isn't for real. And then he'd go out and pitch 5 innings of 1-run ball and do it again. And there were, I think, 4 or 5 months last season where he was maybe getting lucky. He was maybe getting some batted ball luck. But it also takes a measure of like going out there and doing it and working out of some jams and creating your own luck, which I think was part of that. And then toward the end of the season, I think you started to see the version of Randy Vasquez who could take that step, who started to miss some more bats and walk fewer guys. And that's the key to him becoming that. I mean, he's not going to be a front of the rotation guy, but if he's a reliable number 3 or number 4, which the numbers say last year he was, I think he could solidify that even more by, like I said, adding a few more swings and misses, taking off a few more walks. I think that guy's in there. And I frankly loved watching him last season. I love that evolution from like, oh, maybe he's getting away with some stuff, I don't really believe this, to maybe this could work. We'll probably learn this season, because there are some peripheral numbers that are not too kind to what Randy Vasquez was last season and the season that he had. I kind of fall in the camp of he was probably getting lucky for most of the season, but based on what I saw on some of those starts down the stretch, I think he can be that guy for the Padres. And like you said, like if these are the starting pitching options they go into the season with, I'm not convinced that there's enough right now, but I'm a lot closer to convinced if Randy Vasquez is, rather than a number 5, if he's a number 3 or 4 type guy.
Yeah.
Talking to AJ Cassavell, MLB.com, and I got to ask you about the ownership situation. There was a report this week that Sheil Seidler dropped some of the claims in her lawsuit, and it paves the way for the team to go through with the sale. And there's 3 different, maybe 4 different suitors. I know you don't have any more information, I don't think, and unless you want to drop it on the radio right now, that would be fine with me. But what are your thoughts about this whole process, and what do you think is it going to cross paths with the play on the field this year?
I don't think it's going to cross paths with the play on the field, because I think like the Padres have probably for the last couple seasons been dealing with this to some extent, and they haven't really shown it in those 2 seasons. So I don't know why it would change in 2026. I don't have an update. That isn't exactly kind of my purview, but I will say these things tend to happen like behind closed doors, and when they happen fast, but you kind of never know when they would happen. So I guess it's a wait and see kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, I just think that from the last 2 years, what we've seen with some of the uncertainty that has existed and the way the Padres, probably as some result of their veteran-laden roster and guys who know how to compartmentalize and know how to kind of let their play on the field speak for itself, they've managed to not let it affect them. Now, whether it affects the Padres in terms of acquisitions and what goes on in the GM role, and like there's a whole lot of questions that still persist, but I think the Padres have shown that they can kind of take what's going on above them in organizationally and move it to the side and play playoff caliber baseball.
AJ Cassavell joins. The last one for me, AJ. I mean, obviously, World Baseball Classic, Padres are going to have some guys missing. But could it be a preview into, getting these guys playing, that type of baseball early, may get you going? I know in 23 it didn't quite work out that way for Soto at least, but for Toddy, a guy like that in particular who was coming into a year in which I think a lot of people feel, he can maybe put it all together. WBC could play into that in terms of getting them ready?
Yeah, I think that's possible. You can make the case for it. You can make the case against it. I just love the idea that these players are going to go play competitive, exciting baseball. And this is purely selfishly because I like watching competitive, exciting baseball.
Right,
I spend 6 weeks in Peoria.
I do too.
I'll just say the World Baseball Classic is a whole lot more fun and exciting than some of those spring training games. And there's importance to spring training and what goes on. And I'll report on it. I'll write on it. I'll enjoy my time there. I'll do what I have to do. But those games are so fun and so good for the sport that maybe there's some downside to it. Maybe you're putting a little strain on some of these guys, getting to camp early, getting them ready faster than they otherwise would have. But I just think the upside is too good for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One of them for the players themselves, putting themselves into those situations, especially the position players. These games are fun. They're exciting. They're the type of baseball you're playing during the regular season. How many times have we seen spring training games where guys are just going through the motions and then they get to the start of the season and they look like completely different players? Happens all the time. This is the baseball I want to be seeing, even if I won't be seeing it live, even if I'll probably be watching it from Peoria. It's just the World Baseball Classic has evolved into something that I think really resonates across sports. I think people who aren't even necessarily diehard baseball fans care about it, are interested in it. And so, positive for a lot of different reasons. And I want to see as many of these guys as possible participating.
Love it. Love it. I agree. AJ, appreciate your time, man. We'll let you get out of here.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. That is it. Thank you, Chris, for trying very hard to get to the show. I do appreciate it very much.
I love doing the show. I know people, there's really nothing I'd rather do. So I try everything. I feel bad that we didn't have the best equipment going today, but we'll solve that problem moving forward.
Yeah, you know what you do, Chris? You just move forward.
All right. Well, Monday, I guess we'll recap what's going on this weekend. Anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So Monday's like the week. I think spring training is Tuesday. Pitchers, catchers report.
Yeah, I'm ready. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Get the stupid football season over with.
Good luck to you, Super Bowl fans.